Good morning, everybody. I'm a disaster this morning. What is happening?
You're doing
it's
great.
Fine.
We're having big conversations here in the last 20 minutes.
I wanted to play this because it is Friday the 13th.
Sitting in the front seat, sitting in the back seat. Gotta make my mind up. Which seat can I take? It's Friday, time to get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Looking forward to the weekend.
Well, you know, because it's Friday the 13th.
That's right.
Spookiest day of the week.
This
Yeah, all right.
can't interrupt that. This is the only Friday the 13th we're having this year, I believe.
Yeah, this is it.
So get out your whatever you're doing.
Well, that's why
Okay.
Lern's not here. She's under the covers.
Oh, I saw her fly by on a broom to see.
No, she's at home with the covers pulled over her head. She refuses to. If there's only one Friday the 13th of the year,
This is the
Yep.
day.
this is it. You got to make it count, guys. What are we doing?
Yep.
A couple years back, coolest thing happened ever. Friday the 13th was in October, and that's when my grandson was born.
Oh, you got a Friday the 13th
Yeah.
grandson?
Isn't that cool? Super creepy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Scary.
At least I think so.
Okay, so today, Friday the 13th, the good news is this will be the only one this year, or maybe that's bad news. If you're a dark soul who loves Friday the 13th, a month has a February the 13th only if the month begins on a Sunday, just so you know. I'll say that again. A month has a Friday the 13th only if the month begins on a Sunday.
Oh.
And that's only happening once in 2025. So the next Friday the 13th will be in February of next year. 2026 will have 3 Friday the 13th.
Whoa.
And there were 2 last year. So for what it's worth, a poll did find that that a majority of Americans don't really give a crap about Friday the 13th.
Or think it's cool, right? I mean, I think it's cool.
Do you?
Well, I have to now.
Well, because
You know, something good happens on that day. You kind of have to
Okay.
switch sides. I didn't really have a choice, but I do think it's cool.
So when people were asked, do you think Friday the 13th is an unlucky day? 80% were like, probably or definitely not unlucky. But do you know the history of it?
Well, it started on a Friday, I believe.
I really don't. I thought it was a movie. I thought it was one of those bucket list things. Mm-hmm. You know, like a bucket list that was like it was not a term. It was not a thing. Movie comes out.
Until the Friday the 13th movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, a movie comes out. Everybody's like, "Oh, bucket list, bucket list, bucket list," and you kind of assume that the movie was made based on the concept, but the movie made the concept. So I always thought maybe the Friday the 13th thing was made from the movie.
Well, I mean, it popularized it.
But it was a thing prior to.
I mean, not really.
Oh, dang.
I mean, there's a bit of history behind it.
Has to do with like the Last Supper, and,
Right. The Knights Templar.
and Norse gods, right?
So the dread of the number 13 is called triskaidekaphobia. So triskaidekaphobia is dread of the number 13.
And
So-
this was known prior to this pop culture phenomenon.
So ancient cultures considered 12 to be
Pretty solid
the
number.
perfect number. So
Pretty solid.
12, perfect. Think 12 months a year, 12 zodiac signs, 12 apostles.
Yep.
12 eggs in a dozen, huh?
Whoa.
Right?
Oh, well, what?
13 was seen as irregular, a step beyond completeness, and something to watch out for.
Yeah.
Like, I got my eye on you, number 13. 12, you're good, man. You're perfect.
Heck
13,
Well, I think like Judas was the 13th guest at the Last Supper, and he betrayed Christ.
No,
So
he was
that
one of
cat-
the 12.
he was one of the he was one of the main ones.
He was 12 plus Jesus. He's 13.
All right, well, so with number 13, so even today, some buildings skip the 13th floor, going straight from 12 to 14. Historically, Friday has its own baggage. In Christianity, Friday was the day Jesus was crucified, making it a day of mourning. In medieval times, Fridays were considered unlucky days to start new ventures, get married, or even travel. And the first clear mention of Friday the 13th as a day of bad luck shows up in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, like first times. But there are a couple historical events that people have linked to superstition. Last Supper, 13 people died. The next day, Good Friday, Jesus was crucified. The Knights Templar on Friday the 13th of October, 1307. Hundreds of the Knights Templar were arrested by King Philip IV of France, as Scott would know.
Yep.
Oh, so there's an actual historical Friday the 13th.
Right.
It's not just the number getting a weird association.
Yeah, but I mean, is this?
Had to happen sometime.
But yeah, I was gonna say, isn't this a case we've been on this earth long enough now?
I think it's
where
the 13, really.
I can
could
I can
pick
make
every
up.
Day of
day.
the month.
That's what I'm saying. I can make up anything and say, "Yo, we should be worried about this," and then just give me an hour with ChatGPT and Google, and I could figure out,
Some bad stuff that happened on September 8th.
I could connect a solid 5-minute story for you to convince you that like this was something that's legit, that's quote unquote always been around. There's so much confirmation bias possibility.
Well,
I think there's like it says here that in Norse mythology, too, the god Loki was the 13th guest at a banquet, brought chaos and death, further associating 13 with misfortune.
Well, so statistically, do bad things happen today? Hey, listen, I'm sure if you work in an ER, if you work in an emergency room, and you got a Friday the 13th, maybe you're calling an extra staff.
Yeah, because my sister worked in the ER, and she did say that Friday the 13th was one of those weird ones where, and same thing with the full moon.
Full moon.
Same thing. People were out doing dumb things, and
Or is it just in your head?
maybe it is, but she said they were busier on those. Those nights were usually busier, but I also think it's because it's probably young people just being dumb,
Or maybe you're just more attuned to it. Or maybe there's another statistic that we're not taking into account, like most Friday the 13th happened during the summer. Or
I don't know.
something
Here's
like
what I
that.
hear about the full moon, and I don't know if this is because people who work in ERs will go, "Oh, full moon, it's we're crazy, we're slammed."
Yeah.
Is it because, and I don't know if this is true, maybe somebody told me this once, that because it's a full moon, it's more light. There's more light,
Yeah.
and then people are apt to be more outside. And then accidents happen.
That's what I would imagine is the reason behind that.
But statistically, Friday the 13th is not any unluckier than any other day. But the myth persists. For some, it's just a fun, tradition. For others, people will legitimately avoid flying or doing business or making big decisions. So, There's even a term for it. It's called illusory correlation. That's our tendency to make connections between unrelated things or events.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I could do anything right now. I could pick anything. And you just give me a few minutes of research, and I could do what illusionary
Illusory correlation.
Yeah, right. They got to come up with a better term so I can remember it.
So if you spill coffee on yourself, today you're like, oh, it's Friday the 13th.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
It's all
Two things
downhill
have
from
nothing-
here.
No, you spilled coffee on yourself because you're a klutz.
Yeah. Not to mention the 35 other times you spilled coffee on yourself
Let's
this
not
year.
think about those.
Well, the whole thing is psychologists say that when life feels bad or it's chaotic, we look for something to blame. And superstition gives our brains things to blame.
That's
So Friday the
incredible.
13th, if something bad happens today, you're like, ugh, Friday the 13th.
I'll be doggone.
That's a Rizz language for grow up. Okay?
Yeah.
Hey, no, if something bad happens to me today, I'm definitely blaming it on Friday the 13th for sure. Like 100%.
And you can't, legally, if you do something bad today, you could say it's Friday the 13th, that it can't charge you with anything, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think that'll hold up.
Oh, I thought.
Hey, but speaking of bad luck or good luck, for one guy, you see that plane crash in India yesterday?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Now, wait before I know you know the story.
I do, and that's the only thing I know. I haven't seen the aftermath.
Okay, so an Air India jet crashed just after takeoff yesterday. Okay, and there's a video of it. There's video of the plane taking off, and almost immediately it went down. The airline said in a statement, Air India confirms that flight AI-171 from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick was involved in an accident today after takeoff. Observers say the aircraft struggled to gain altitude and eventually crashed into a medical college. And what you see is the thing take off. It's a big jumbo jet.
Yeah.
It takes off, and you could see it struggling to
Yeah,
get.
it just levels off.
It levels
very
off,
quickly.
and then you see in the background in the distance a giant explosion. It's a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, 242 passengers and crew members aboard. 241 people died. One person survived. One guy.
Wow.
Seated in row 11A, next to an exit door. One person literally walked away.
He walked away from
242 people on board, 241 perished. One guy died.
There's a video of him
one guy survived.
limping away right here.
One
Willis.
person. 40-year-old Vishwash Kumar Ramesh.
That'd be a trip, man.
Yeah, dude. Wouldn't be able to watch that movie again, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The guy, and they asked him, like, he walked away. They asked him about it. He said 30 seconds after takeoff, there was a loud noise, and then the plane crashed. With all the fatalities on the ground, 290 people died. Because remember, it crashed into a college,
Golly.
into a medical school. One guy walked away. And now there's video circulating that I guess the flight before on this plane, there was some guy on like documenting like nothing worked.
Yeah, he said, he goes, oh, look, the air conditioning doesn't work. The TV doesn't work. He goes, look, the button to call the air hostess doesn't even work.
Yeah,
the lights don't even work.
Listen to this. This is the flight before the crash. So I think the guy landed at like 11:30. The crash happened like 2 hours later.
We are almost about to taxi, but this AC is not working. And as usual, your TV screens are also not working. Neither this button for calling the cabin crew. Nothing is working. Nothing. Not even the light is working.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's crazy.
I think he even put it on social media, like to the airline.
Did you hear what the survivor said? Do you have the quotes from the survivor? Because they're talking to him.
Yeah, he said 30 seconds after takeoff, loud noise, plane crashes.
Yeah, but did you see the quote when he was talking about how he got out?
No.
Quote, everything happened in front of my eyes. I thought I would die. The side where I was seated fell into the ground floor of the building. There was some space. When the door broke, I saw that space and I just jumped out.
Holy cow.
The door must have broken on impact. There was a wall on the opposite side, but near me it was open. I ran. I don't know how. I don't know how I came out of this alive. For a while, I thought I was about to die. But when I opened my eyes, I saw that I was alive. And I opened my seatbelt and I got out of there. The air hostess died right before my eyes.
Holy
Man.
smokes. I like miracles.
That's for sure a miracle.
Yeah.
Walked out.
That's really.
And listen, he's at the hospital. He is being treated for what they're calling impact injuries. Okay. I'm sure the shock of it all, he probably wasn't feeling any pain at that point.
Mm-mm.
And got up and walked around. Walked out of the wreckage.
It's amazing.
But yeah, lucky seat 11A.
So no information yet? Like faulty plane, electronics? Like
What they at first said was the plane may have been too loaded down. Too much weight.
How?
Come on, that's a Dreamliner. That thing is.
I don't know. Again, it just happened yesterday.
Huh.
So I'm sure more will come out on it. But one guy, one lucky man. Had this happen on Friday the 13th, I don't know.
Was that yesterday this happened?
Yeah. Lucky 12th.
Thursday the 12th.
Lucky Thursday the 12th for this guy. Speaking of flying. Anybody see the video of this woman who's gone viral for melting down in the airport after being told her luggage is too heavy?
I haven't seen it, but I saw the picture of it on the headlines there.
You ever see an adult in real life have a full-on temper tantrum, like on the floor?
I think at airports, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have like
And
a
it's
full,
usually this scenario.
like a full-on adult, and this woman appears to be in her maybe 50s.
Really?
On the floor, kicking and screaming. Which, of course, is how you handle
Of course.
adversity.
I haven't seen the kicking and screaming thing.
Oh, yeah. See if you can find the.
I've seen meltdowns.
Here's the news story. A headline: Chinese tourist causes scene at Milan airport over baggage fee.
An emotional scene unfolded on June 8th at Milan Malpensa Airport when a Chinese tourist was told her carry.
So you could hear in the background. So that's her on the
Yeah.
ground.
Sounds like she's getting
like a
tased.
toddler.
Oh, yeah, she's kicking.
No, I mean she's on the ground, on her back,
Oh my
on
gosh.
her back,
I mean, just like a toddler.
just like a
Like,
toddler.
you know, knees bent, smacking
Yeah.
the floor with the bottom of your feet and your hands.
An emotional scene unfolded on June 8th at Milan Malpensa Airport when a Chinese tourist was told her carry-on luggage was too heavy. Airport staff explained she needed to either pay an additional fee or remove some items before boarding.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
I love the crew standing around her like, oh my gosh.
Just let her go. She'll tuck her out.
Yeah.
Some items
Where's
before
the
boarding.
Guy.
Faced with the decision, the woman became overwhelmed and dropped to the floor in a tearful outburst. She rolled on the ground, raised her arms, and cried loudly in front of fellow passengers.
I mean,
I feel bad.
do you?
Yeah, of course, man. I mean,
Barring any, barring any. Okay, we'll just say we don't know what's going on in this woman's life.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to assume something not great
Yeah.
is overwhelming her.
Should we give her the benefit of the doubt?
I think as a
I don't
society,
know.
I think as a society, we should be looking out for people that are doing this kind of stuff. Not on a regular basis. I'm not justifying anybody's ridiculousness in public, okay? I'm just saying if somebody is doing that, I'm going to assume.
Straight to the nut house.
I'm going to assume they're going to pull out a straitjacket from the closet behind the desk.
Yeah, straight to the nut house. Here to wear this.
Hey, ma'am, you seem cold. We've got a jacket for you.
Rafe, any excuse for this?
I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe she's having some kind of mental break.
That's what I mean. It's,
But-
in public, it's
Or she just sucks.
that's rough.
Right. I'm going to lean more towards that way.
You know, like we got to leave the door cracked that she just sucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
That she's just like isn't handling any more adversity than the rest of us are, and this is just her reaction to being told no.
I want to know because they don't really give detail on like who she's with.
There are, I will say, I don't know what it's called, but there are a certain subsect of people that like have, it's not like split personality, but it's like they do revert to like babies. And it's, my friend dated a guy and for years, and he was under stress, and he just like, it was crazy. Like my friend's dad was like, I went over to the house because they lived together, and he was on the floor, and he was like a baby. Like he would not respond to his own name. He was like having a mental break where he was like, he was like goo goo gaga, like on the floor, wanted me to pick him up, was talking like baby talk.
Is this becoming more?
And he was like, it was so weird and unsettling. I felt like he was possessed, and it was like a psychotic.
Is this becoming more acceptable in our society?
I don't know, and I don't even know what it's called or if it's a thing, but it was like some sort of psychotic break.
Well, because I'm going to bring something else.
It did look like a straight up toddler.
Just like that.
Looked like toddler behavior.
Here's the news story.
Became overwhelmed and dropped to the floor in a tearful outburst. She rolled on the ground, raised her arms, and cried loudly in front of fellow passengers. Attempts by authorities to calm her were unsuccessful, and she was eventually removed from the boarding area. The flight departed without her, though she later rebooked a new ticket for the following day. Footage of the incident
You
quickly...
want this woman on a plane?
Hell no.
Right.
Hell no. Well,
You
she
know,
got to get back to China somehow.
There's a lot of people texting over like main character syndrome and all that, and like that. I don't think that has anything to do with here. That's not relevant because no one wants to be the main character as a toddler flailing on an airport floor.
It's a pretty cool role.
You know what I mean? Like I think you're misinterpreting what that might be. Right? Main character syndrome is when somebody, wants the world to bend to them, and they're kind of just walking around like they're the only one that exists. I don't see this person
Which
doing
is toddler
this.
behavior.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a big difference between this person's break. This is a mental break.
Psychotic break, temporary episode of psychosis, disrupts a person's ability to think, not always, but sometimes can experience age regression, also known as emotional or psychological regression, and a defense mechanism where individuals revert to early developmental stages to cope with stress or trauma.
Somebody says it sounds like Yoko Ono, but a little better.
I like that.
Circulated online, drawing mixed reactions from viewers.
Mixed reactions.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming some of them feel bad because they're
Yeah,
like,
they're
"Oh my gosh,
concerned.
we're witnessing a psychotic break," and the others are like, "But what is this crazy person doing?"
And could a stroke, I know it sounds silly, but
No, let's not go there.
all right.
No, I don't think so.
A stroke.
I mean, could it interfere with, some of those mechanisms?
Some
in your
people are
brain and-
just babies
That's true.
and a-holes.
I think you lose function, not.
The flight departed without her, though she later rebooked a new ticket for the following day.
Banned forever
Footage
from
of the
flying.
incident quickly circulated online,
gosh, dude.
drawing mixed reactions from viewers. While some expressed sympathy, others criticized the public display. The event highlights how unanticipated travel issues can sometimes escalate, especially when emotions take over under pressure.
How unanticipated.
I just hope this becomes the standard of how we're supposed to. Once we hand our bags over, we have to flail on the floor for a while. And
This would be wild, dude. If this happened, imagine this happening to you. Involuntary age regression, self-soothing behaviors such as thumb-sucking, whining
my
for attention,
God.
or hiding under the bed. And it says, examples of age regression: crying, baby talk, sucking your thumb, temper tantrums, rocking, bedwetting,
Oh, my
pants
God.
wetting, fetal position, and using a dummy. I don't know what that means. Cuddling a toy.
But it's a defense mechanism of a psychotic break. I mean, how can
Right,
you
that's
not,
what I'm saying.
how
It's
can you not
wild.
feel for someone who's experiencing something like
If
that?
that's what it is.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying it does exist. So
does.
I'm not saying in this case, but if I was to see something like this in public, I would. Now that you've read that whole thing out, I would assume that's what I'm watching. Baby
Or
regression.
somebody said she could also be neurodiverse autism. That could cause this kind of stuff.
What I'm saying is, there's a couple.
She could also suck.
Right, that's wrong.
Yeah. But let's say, shall we say, there's a couple reasons that this could happen where we should feel bad about it, and probably less likely that an adult would choose to do something like this for attention, right?
Or just can't cope with any kind of can't cope
Diversity?
with. Yeah.
But even if you're annoyed and they're like, hey, it's going to cost you $10 extra for the weight charge, or you have to remove something, like, even if you're annoyed, you're just like, I'll just pay
Well,
the
of
money.
course.
Yeah, you throw something or you
normal
raise your
person-
voice or
a
something.
normal person would do
That's
that.
the attention stuff.
I don't know, because I'm thinking this could kind of be the way we're going.
All right.
Could
This
be
kind
that,
of
man.
behavior could be acceptable, because I just read about something this week.
She could have just been like, oh, is my bag overweight? Or watch this. Like, okay, it's not.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
maybe that was her move. She's like, I
49
know.
pounds.
Oh, yeah,
Has
by the way-
anyone tried throwing themselves in the floor and having a tantrum to see if they could get
This'll
their
work.
bag?
Hey, maybe she won $100. Maybe she got a friend on her
That's-
side going,
that's-
"Oh, she did it."
You know,
That is a
decent
great
strategy.
call.
Yeah, decent strategy. Get her out of here. Fine, you get the bag.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this could have just been before I pay another $40 to Southwest,
Let
I'm
me try
trying
this.
and I kind of get it. And if that's the deal,
If that's
respect.
the genius.
But I think if we ever travel together in an airport, we have to, one of us has to get paid $100 to go.
Tina
and
should
do
have
the
tried
thing.
this when we went to the Bahamas
Yeah.
when she checked her bag late. But did you try throwing yourself on the floor and having a tantrum? Well, then you didn't try everything, babe.
I'll give you $100 if you try.
Was this an AI voice doing this report?
An emotional scene unfolded on June 8th at
Yeah,
Milan
dude.
I
Malpensa.
think so.
For sure.
I don't know.
Some onlookers think she suffered from.
I read this week about something called adult tummy time. That's what I'm thinking. This kind of behavior is going to be more acceptable.
That's not
That sounds like
diarrhea.
an awesome band name. Adult tummy
Adult
time.
tummy time. No. Listen, if you're a parent, you are probably familiar with the concept of what tummy time is. You know, you lay babies on their stomachs, while they're awake so they can strengthen their neck and shoulder muscles and improve their motor skills. Remember, when the kids were younger?
I've never called it that, but good to know.
I remember we used to put the mat out and you put the kid on the ground and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was called tummy time.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
And it's for little babies who can't walk, it's again to strengthen their muscles.
Yeah, because mostly, back in the day when we were kids, they would just throw us in our crib, side, back, stomach, whatever. But remember, you're not supposed to
Yeah.
you have the
have them on
flat
the
head
belly.
and-
Right. So, because of that, they're not getting that then. You're supposed to do this over here. It strengthens their neck muscles and whatever else.
Well, now they're talking about adult tummy time. So this is
so we can
Boys,
reverse
just so you know, I'm bringing this into the office.
So we can reverse the phone neck.
yes.
This thing?
So you should be on your stomach for 10 minutes or more every day, even if you're just watching TV, scrolling, or reading. It's supposed to counteract tech neck.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I was just joking.
This is called strengthening your core.
No, Scott, it's adult tummy
You're
time.
Right. You're right. Adult tummy time.
The effects of the hours you spend hunched over, your computer, your phone, any other device.
Maybe this gal was just working on that.
Well, she was on her back.
She was on her back. so
I know. I'm
that's-
just saying, if we're crapping on her for acting like a toddler, and then now here you're doing a story telling us we're supposed to be acting like toddlers.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Listen, I understand trying to strengthen your neck muscles, and I understand the tech neck thing, but calling it adult tummy time,
Get the out of here.
get out of here. Tummy time.
That makes me happy.
Adult tummy time is when you pass out face down. Sure. Sure. Adult tummy time. Get out of here.
At least the name's cool. It's not goofy sounding.
We were talking, I think it was last week, about conspiracy theories. And I was reading about, and we talked about some of the big ones last week, the JFK, chemtrails. There are some kind of harmless conspiracy theories out there that somebody had listed out that I was reading yesterday.
This is awesome.
Harmless conspiracy theories.
Yeah, so let's be honest. Most conspiracy theories are not all that believable, no matter how far, your crazy uncle goes down the rabbit hole.
Right.
But there are some smaller, harmless conspiracy theories. And I'm reading some of this stuff. I go, makes me think. So here are some harmless conspiracy theories. Starbucks baristas are told on purpose to misspell customers' names.
Yeah, I thought that was known. I thought we already proved that.
But why, though?
So we would post about it and look at this idiot, blah blah blah, and then you're posting Starbucks stuff.
I never heard of that. That is the conspiracy theory. I never heard that before.
Oh, that's brilliant. I thought we already knew that, and I thought that was
this
totally
is the
true.
first time I read about this. So
Yeah,
people,
we're not conspiracy theorists, okay?
so Starbucks baristas are told to misspell customer names, so people post photos on social media of their Starbucks cup, providing free advertising. You knew this?
This is why I'm a Dunkin' man.
I thought this was standard.
No.
I thought it was genius.
You're lucky to get the right thing at Dunkin', let alone have your name on it. That's why I'm a Dunkin' man.
I mean, think about it.
They're
dude.
up front.
I've been doing the Aladdin experiment since 2005, and it started with Starbucks across the planet.
Well, but I just think I thought that it was just people. It's just one of those things that just spell your name wrong because they don't know how to spell Aladdin.
That is also true, but
I didn't think there was something behind it.
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And I think it's
I'm so
freaking
used
genius.
to people
That's smart.
misspelling my name that I've never thought anything of it.
Yeah.
That's always Rave. R-A-V-E.
Listen, you own Starbucks though, and you're trying to think of how can I?
No,
get,
that's smart. But
how
I'm
can I
saying
get-
it never, my name was Matt and they spelled it like M-A-T-E. And I'd be like, what this person's
An idiot.
an idiot.
if that was the initiative though, and you were
People-
Matt, I would MAT it every time.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, people misspell Rafe so often that I've never thought anything of it at Starbucks. I'm like, yeah,
It's just a weird name.
this just happens to me all the time. It's not a big deal.
All right, harmless conspiracy theories. Maybe this is not so harmless. Your phone's microphone is constantly hot and then it's listening for keywords to target advertising.
100%
That's
true.
that's known as well.
Also a fact.
Not
Is that a
theory.
fact? Though?
Also not
Yeah.
harmless.
Is it a fact?
Fact.
Yeah, because
Fact.
you can't turn even when your phone is off. It's still able to
Fact,
record your
yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
This show got my timeline all jacked up, man.
Oh,
Stuff
yeah.
we
What
talk
is the thing we
about.
talk about?
Yeah.
I get ads for stuff that I'm like, I'm not a deviant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
For the
my
love of God.
My phone is fully convinced I'm a schizophrenic.
Yeah, who mentioned butt plugs yesterday? I got 50 advertisements for butt plugs.
Yeah.
I got advertised adult tummy time gear, so
Nice.
excited for that.
I'm not in the market for
I'll
a new
have
butt
it
plug.
happen like, yeah, man. I was at, can't remember what I hadn't thought about Father John Misty in years. And like I was at a bar and somebody put on had Father John Misty's album playing at closing time. And I was like, oh, you know what, man? Like, I hate to admit it, but I like this album, you know? Like, I know he's kind of got a weird person. I'm just talking about it. And man, I picked up my phone, opened up my phone, Father John Misty tickets. I didn't have my phone open. It was in my pocket. And I'm just like, oh, this thing's on, man. Like, this thing is constantly. I didn't play it on my phone. It was just playing, like, up, you know, in the speakers of this bar. And I had a short conversation about it. And I'm like, oh, okay. This mofo
Microphone is hot.
It's hot, and it is
Microphone is
ready
hot.
to advertise to you. It's like Minority Report, man. We've reached that level.
Yeah, 100%. And we're all okay with it.
All right, what about this one? Area 51 is a publicity stunt by the government to hide the real testing facility.
Yeah, Area 52 is where everything's really
Yeah, the aliens are in Area 52.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
It's just a tactic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This ain't nothing but a tactic.
I don't know.
Actually, Area 51 was the 51st state that belongs to the aliens.
Zorb.
This is the state of Zorbanooch.
Anybody hear about that one? Area 51 is a publicity stunt to hide the real
No.
testing facility.
It
I mean,
sucks.
they're all underground. The real ones are underground.
Roswell sucks. Drive through it. And I mean, it is. I'd rather go to the Uranus, Missouri. Has a better.
That's the real
Vibe.
Area
That's the
51.
real
Yes.
Area 51. That's
The
where
place
all
in the
stuff-
basement.
Oh, it
That's
seems
where all
like
the
a
testing's
fun
going down.
fudge. It seems like a fun pun-filled fudge factory, but beneath the surface.
But underneath all that fudge,
Alien experimentation.
underneath that fudge factory,
That fudge is mind control, man.
conspiracy. Cops go onto Waze and leave notes about random police sightings. Like they're the ones that put the police sightings up to cause people to slow down without actually having to stay and check on people.
I mean, that
a lot
is
of-
very possible because I remember when they first rolled out Waze out in LA, the neighborhoods that didn't want the traffic now coming through, they found out these streets exist, you know, so all the traffic starts going through these little tiny streets. The people in those neighborhoods would say that there's a lot of traffic, so Waze would go around those things, and then Waze decided, like, they found out that people were using it as a loophole, so they started changing the
That's
rules
brilliant.
somehow.
Hey, cops, call us. I want to know. Have you ever done this? I just want to know.
It makes sense.
Have you ever done this? Have you
Yeah.
ever used Waze to?
Yeah, because I've having Waze on, say police officer ahead,
It seems like a lot of work for...
and you go, "There's no cop here."
Well, have they ever done the no? You know what I mean? Like if it says like was there a cop there? And it says yes or no. you
I'll
know?
say no.
That would be...
but I'm
he
saying-
said was the cops
I'm saying, would the
no,
cops
no,
do
I'm
that?
not.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Like,
I
are
would
you-
be
are
more
you
likely
popping
to do that.
Yo, call in. Let us know.
Because
Or text us.
If a cop's putting up that I'm there and you're not, one person... Well, the way Waze works, you drive by, like, still there? No.
Still there. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone. So that's a lot of work that somebody can just be like, no, you're not. But if somebody's like, police, and he's like, nah. Nice
That
try.
would be
Now
awesome.
now you see.
That seems more productive.
Now
Yes.
you don't. You know that whole
Partially
thing.
hidden.
I thought that's what you meant. Yo, text us 314-649-DUMB. I want to know. Just be honest.
Here's an idea too: is whenever they're trying to, get the quote at the end of the month, is on your Waze app? I wonder if there's more cops on
there
the
are
road
no
or
quotas.
less.
Did you just wink at me?
Did you just wink at him? Are the Scots winking at
No,
one
no,
another?
I didn't wink.
Oh,
He winked at me.
I mean there are
Somebody
quotas,
check
right?
it in, saying,
I thought
as a cop, I have done both those things.
Oh my gosh!
Okay. This is good.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
Guess what?
We've
Public
been had.
trust just went down 5 points.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I cannot believe it. I mean, I can totally believe it,
Well, I mean,
but I can't believe I didn't think of it.
when I'm on Waze and I see a police officer ahead, and they're actually there, I feel good about.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
I use this. Yeah, that's the.
Thank you. This is a crowdsourced thing.
It's the crowdsourced light flashing.
Like if I'm in the car and I see one, I'm the first. I get excited. I go, ooh,
Look at
at
that.
me!
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
helping others.
You've been had.
It's my mitzvah.
Officer.
Okay, here's another conspiracy theory. That quote unquote big bread paid toaster manufacturers to put on a setting that's too high so people would burn their toast so they would sell more bread.
I love that.
That's a great one.
Genius.
It's pretty flimsy, but all right.
Flimsy.
Flimsy.
It
Seems
makes
solid.
my eyes are open. Wake up, sheeple.
That sounds pretty great. I mean, if you're
Wake up, sheeple.
If you're in charge of, raising profits for bread, I mean, you're pretty limited. That's
Who wants
pretty
this?
creative.
My toaster has a setting all the way up. Who wants it that burnt? There's no reason for it to go up that high.
But the people that do just put it back down anyway. Like, this is some user error sometimes.
But
yeah,
why is
that's-
there even a setting for that? Who wants
Why?
their
Some
toast
people like the
carbonated?
Some like it like the top charred, man.
Yeah, but
Even
there's-
if you put it
My
on,
toaster goes to 11.
There's got to listen. If they wanted to research what the perfect amount is, surely they could figure out the perfect amount for this particular toaster, this size, and a normal piece of bread because they're all sliced.
And people want various degrees of toast.
Right, but it would be genius to either make it a setting where it goes too much or too little, so then you do have to go press it down again
right?
and increase the chances of burning and therefore having to need more bread.
I would
consume
Listen,
more bread.
guys, you can buy a
Oh,
toaster
God.
for like $7.
Smart.
It's not the most high tech piece of machinery out there.
But they do have.
Have you ever looked in a toaster? Have you ever just like
to what it is? Yes.
Have you ever put a fork in a toaster?
As a kid, you're like, how's this thing work? You push it down with no bread in it, and you
And
look
you look to
inside,
see
and
the-
it's just a bunch of hot wires heating up in there.
No, I know.
It's just
I know, I
a
get that.
grid of
But there
lava.
are settings.
Electricity.
Yeah.
There are settings for.
There are settings, but it's not like it's a $7,000 piece of equipment. You can get a Magic Chef toaster for like $8 at Aldi right now.
Wonder
in
Bread.
the weird thing,
I'm not discounting this one.
Wonder Bread is counting on your foolishness, Rafe.
Well, you're not going to get me because I like light toast.
Me too. I like it just like, is it almost hard? Oh,
I'm
it's
over
almost
there
hard.
with my finger under the lever, watching, waiting, pow, grabbing. You're never going to get me.
Okay, so
That's a great one.
I'm going to keep my
That's
eye
a-
on that one.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so the reason Disney came out with the movie called Frozen was that so when you Google Disney Frozen, you would get information about the movie, not the websites talking about Walt Disney's head being frozen.
I've
If this
always
is
liked that
true,
one.
if this is true, y'all did it again. Genius. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've got a solve
I've
for
heard of that
everything.
one before.
But what? I mean, would that really make someone not go to Disneyland because his head's frozen?
What? No. They just didn't want people like feeding into the conspiracy theory of the frozen
Disney's
head.
head.
So they're like, how do we divert? I mean, listen, if the world ends, I hope Disney is running it. You know what I'm saying? If the apocalypse begins, I hope Disney is in charge.
There
it's from
is,
Missouri,
Because
I
it's some
guess,
smart stuff.
there's a new exhibit opening up in Disney World where they're using AI Walt Disney. And it's more than an animatronic robot. It's like him almost walking around and using AI to recreate the voice and recreate what he would say. And the family's divided.
Well, yeah.
Some of the families are like, cool, and other family members like, this is very not right.
This is funny. They don't have a fake historian that is talking about what he would say and sound like. And
I mean, the Frozen thing, though, again, perfect opportunity. I mean, perfect example someone taking a potential tragedy and spinning it into good, because they made $1 billion friggin' with that movie.
Well,
or
they
that,
made-
that franchise.
They made Coco so you wouldn't find out about Walt Disney's horrible cocaine addiction.
Yes. Yeah.
They're all over it.
They're smart.
You don't even want to know about Moana. Oof. Bad news, buddy.
Lotteries are actually traps for time travelers.
Wait, say what now?
Lotteries are actually traps for time travelers.
Okay, that works.
That checks out.
That is perfect.
I mean, if one is
Think about that, Rafe Williams.
to trap a time traveler, what's the
The
perfect
lottery,
net?
money,
Yeah.
You're right.
money.
But what does that say about destiny, man? If the numbers are out there and the numbers never change, you are destined to be there. What came first, man? You're stuck in a time loop, brother. Ah! It's making my head hurt.
Another one this is another one I believe. PETA, okay, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, is controlled opposition run by the meat industry, designed to make animal rights activists look bad.
Oh yeah.
Actually, is not.
PETA
create an enemy?
is controlled opposition run by the meat industry, designed to make animal rights activists look bad.
Yeah, because on that Penn and Teller show, they broke down, like this, of course, was 2006 or
the
7.
BS show?
But where PETA spends their money, and they do something like where it's, I mean, just barely 1%, actually saves animals. They euthanize more. They do all this weird stuff more than, and they invest in all these things, and they don't really do anything for animals.
I don't know. This is the conspiracy
Really
theory. I don't know.
But that was a long time ago, so who knows?
That would seem to be something that's been around long enough where we'd have a whistleblower name or two. You know what I mean? Or a whistleblower.
This one?
Yeah. Well, the other
many-
thing
too
too
many
is
moving
this,
parts there.
I guess there's one lady that helped create PETA or whatever. She's back in the day was second in command, and she is diabetic, so she has to do insulin shots, which they use pig for some of that, and she was okay with that. But
What?
that's part of that Penn and Teller
Oh,
thing.
that's
I just
so
remember
long
that.
ago. Anybody ever been to a Trader Joe's and noticed their parking lots are really small, especially the one over here? The parking lot at the Trader Joe's down the street
Yeah.
is super tiny.
Yeah.
It was one of those where I remember going a couple times, and if I didn't get a spot, I was like, well, see you later.
Well, and here's the conspiracy theory. Trader Joe's makes their parking lots small on purpose to make them seem more popular than they really are.
Well, that seems counterproductive.
Yeah.
But
But I think they're also.
Just throwing it out there.
I wonder too how much they'd rather have their store closer to the visibility of the main roads. Because if you look at the big grocery stores, they're always super far away from main roads. I wonder.
And Bigfoot is blurry in real life.
Yeah,
You know what?
It was never the camera at fault.
that's right.
Bigfoot is actually blurry.
it's quite a blurry animal.
Okay,
So,
that is truth. Then that checks.
listen, these are all just things that are thrown out there, just fun, harmless
I love
conspiracy theories. So think about that.
My favorite
about
thing
that.
to think about right now is the fact that there's at least a percentage of people that are going to believe that just heard you say certain things, and within a few hours they're going to forget where they heard it, and it's going to be fact for the rest
I
of their
hope
life.
so.
Fact.
I hope so.
You just planted facts for some people.
I hope.
I hope it's
Scott's gotta
I hope
stand up.
the Uranus thing sticks.
Yes.
I'd like to get that one going.
314 says it's the Uranus Fudge Factory, Area 50 fun.
Area 69.
Area 50 fun.
That's Area 50 Deuce.
It's not a conspiracy theory, but I was listening to a podcast about the Abraham Lincoln assassination, and it's just a nice little factoid that goes along with this, which is kind of wild to me. They were saying John Wilkes Booth was an extremely popular actor.
Yes.
The whole Booth family, like his dad was an actor.
You calling him the Hanks of the day?
He had 3 brothers.
Somebody compared
No.
him to like Brad
they were
Pitt.
saying that like the closest thing they could think of would be like if Emilio Estevez or Charlie Sheen assassinated the president today,
Really?
which is kind of wild because it's like the dad was, I forgot the dad's name, but he was like a biggest actor in America. 3 sons, and they each had a territory. So there was one in California, and then the other brother was in the north, did all the New York shows, and so John Wilkes was like the youngest brother. They made him go south, and he became like the southern performer. So he was performing in theaters in the south, which is why he took on a lot of the South's ideologies which led to what they were saying, like it'd be like a Baldwin brother, or like that's how wildly popular these guys were. And I'm like, just imagine if like Emilio Estevez tried to kill the president. Like that's a crazy, it's a wild thing.
He was known as a
because we all just know him as the guy who tried to kill or did kill President Lincoln, not tried to, did kill him. And I was like, oh man, that'd be nuts.
No, he did it.
No, he definitely did it.
He did it. He did definitely.
No, he did it, dude.
You telling me Mary Todd turned and said, "Is that Brad Pitt?"
Kinda.
Yeah, famous Shakespearean actor
from a famous family. Wow, it's wild.
And I mean,
that is
it's in the vein of conspiracy theories, but it's just really just making that comparison was nuts to me. I was trying to think, or Skarsgård, you know, like they're
like the Baldwin.
Skarsgård's high.
I don't see how the Baldwin
brothers.
Definitely Billy.
No, it seems like it'd be Alec.
It'd be Alec for sure.
Oh,
boy.
What kind of
it would be Alec.
comparisons are you making?
One of the Baldwins, it's Alec.
No, it's definitely not Steven.
No.
He's too high. He doesn't know what's going on.
Hey, there's a local story, and I saw this on Channel 2 yesterday, and this is what a scumbag this guy is. This guy will get the scumbag of the week award. Headline: burglary suspect used obituaries to prey on grieving families. And this is local, by the way. This is a local story.
This is age old. Remember, I told you, we've been going through everything with my brother, and it's because of GoFundMe. Like scammers scour, especially overseas scammers scour GoFundMes for people in their worst moments.
Yep.
Struggling.
Well, this guy, police in St. Louis County say 33-year-old Brandon Welsh had been tracking local obituaries, and he was finding homes to burglarize while the families were grieving. So according to prosecutors, Brandon would look through death notices, look up the addresses, and then target the homes of people who had just passed away. Not because I've heard about like people looking at obituaries and then saying, "Oh, somebody's mother died, so they got to be at and they list when the funeral is, so they know they'll be out."
Right.
Yeah.
This is them targeting the actual dead person, like their house.
Okay.
So apparently he had some kind of partner helping him break in and stealing things. They would steal jewelry, a gun was stolen, a Lowe's credit card was stolen. And the Lowe's credit card thing is even crazier because detectives say that Brandon and his accomplice used a stolen Lowe's credit card to order about $3,000 in merchandise. So Lowe's flagged the order for fraud, and this AO actually called the store twice trying to get the order released.
Oh, boy. Really wanted the grill, huh?
Oh, yeah, the green egg.
Can't
Those
pass
are pretty
that up,
expensive.
honestly.
Release the egg.
I got a pork shoulder I got to smoke. So this guy's now facing 3 felony charges, second-degree burglary, 2 counts of stealing. Police are reminding everybody, hey, you got to be extra cautious, especially during, as Moon said, vulnerable times.
Yeah, I remember if we had a big family, funeral and there's a lot of folks there and stuff, there'd always be someone from like a church or something like that would come and just sit at the house and hang out, like while all this stuff's going on.
Your family does that?
Well, I just remember people because in Shelbina it's pretty neat. Where you can get your license at the DMV. It's also an electronics store, so they sell refrigerators. But anytime someone passes away, for free, they just drop off an extra refrigerator because they know it's going to be loaded with food, and it's like one of their services.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Wait. Don't just move on.
Okay.
You can get an RC car.
So if
And
somebody
a
in
license?
Shelbina dies, the local DMV electronics store, DMV/electronics store, they'll drop a fridge off.
Yeah, they loan it, like give it to you so you can borrow it for a few days because they know that the way that town works, everyone just brings food, so it's just loads up.
Yeah.
And so it's usually on porches at homes there. But I remember folks sitting out just keeping an eye on everything and hanging around the house to make sure.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So they'll put the fridge on the porch, so people could just come by and just open up the fridge and leave food.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's wonderful. Oh man, I love small town America.
I know, it's the best.
You'll never go. But
I'll never go.
You'll never go. Guess what? No lines at the DMV there either.
I bet.
I'll never go.
Yeah.
So it's a DMV/electronics
Yeah.
This is where we buy, electronics as well.
Yeah, or dishwasher. You can shop while you're getting your car stuff taken care of.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to pay my taxes on the Nissan and
What?
give me that toaster. While
How big is this place?
It's about the size of probably maybe a Dollar General or something like that square.
So, like in the corner would be the DMV with how many windows?
Oh, I mean, the whole front is a store, so it's got the normal signs where it says, hey, this refrigerator's on sale for $1,000.
And you just walk through to the back, and that's where the DMV is?
Well, where you also check out to buy your stuff. It's like the same counter, basically. All that's all connected.
Whoa.
It's great.
So I can pay my personal property tax and get my new plates?
Yeah. I mean, granted, you have to go all the way on the other side of town, but
it's going to take you a couple
about
minutes.
3 minutes.
Holy cow. That is
It's the best,
crazy.
man.
I can't wrap my head around
Small
that.
towns rule for a reason.
Can't wrap my head
If
around
the steakhouse was still there, we'd get you out
that. And
there.
steakhouse.
Well, it ain't there no more. It was the best.
It what?
It was the best fries in Missouri.
Okay, but don't tell me it was in the same place as a DMV and electronics store.
No,
And
but it wasn't.
steakhouse.
No, but it wasn't far. And we'd have got you out there if Clappers was still around.
I'm not going to Shelbina.
I didn't say you were.
Yeah, it's
I'm
Tim's
saying
Home Center.
If Clappers were there, you'd be going to Shelbina. We'd take you. We'd kidnap you. Feed you the best steak and fries that you've had in a long time.
You would love it.
The DMV in DeSoto is also a furniture store, somebody's saying?
No.
What?
It's a thing.
It's a win.
Apparently, it's a thing.
What? Oh, yeah, more than one person saying that.
DeSoto's too big, though. Compared to Shelbina, that's London.
Yeah, that is.
We're not counting that.
I mean, it's great. It's a good idea. While you're waiting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was at the DMV the other day. I had to wait for 45 minutes.
Well, why don't you go check out that recliner?
And you know what I did? I just sat there.
It's on sale.
This is a much better
I
deal.
sat there and played Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Do you need a new end table?
I could have been walking around looking for stuff.
Check out how smooth that drawer is.
Wow, this fan is very powerful. It's such a cool
Is
thing.
it bad? So I was at the DMV on Wednesday, and I wasn't in the mood to play games.
When are you in the mood for games?
At
it
the
was
DMV,
It was
of all
crowded.
places.
It was crowded, and
Guys, DMV attention. Scott Rizzuto's arrived, and I am in the mood to play me some games.
Yeah.
Like
Tummy
who?
time.
no, and it was crowded, and a mother and her maybe 3-year-old kid came in, and of course, they sat right next to me. And the mom refused to let the kid use her phone. And this was going to be a while. This was a long wait.
So being the good guy that you are, you handed the kid your phone.
No, because I was using my phone to play Candy Crush.
Well, so is she.
No, she was not doing anything. So she gave the kid a pen to play with. Perfect, right? That should occupy him for 45 minutes. A pen.
Click, 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 click.
So after the incessant clicking, the kid kept throwing the pen under my seat. And we were playing a game of me getting the pen and giving it back to him.
No,
He had
you
fun.
see, you should have grabbed the pen and thrown it to the other end.
I should have.
Go get it.
Play fetch. Kids love fetch.
Yeah.
And this was a thing. I'm like,
Good for you. I'm happy that you were a part of society for a brief moment.
Man, if I get up and move, that's going to look bad. And if I tell the mom I don't want to play the game anymore, that's going to look bad too. So every time the kid dropped the pen, and it was no less than 25 times, I would take a little longer and longer to bend down and get it until maybe mom got the hint. She didn't.
Oh.
She didn't.
I hope did she ask if they can go in front of you?
We all survived, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Are you okay?
We all
Thank God.
we all survived. And maybe I just needed to chill out. I
think that was good on you.
And you know what? I was in Clayton, too, because I had to go get a personal property tax waiver, which was actually a pleasant experience.
Hey, how about that?
All right. Clayton just got a little greener because finally Clayton's got their own dispensary. That's right. Big news this week.
Ooh-yee.
Clayton's very first cannabis dispensary now open for business. Good Day Farm, a well-known dispensary brand with a growing presence here in the state, opened its doors this week at 118 South Hanley Road. This new place, which takes over a space that was once a tanning salon. In-store kiosks, even let you order online for easy pickup. Maybe I should have swung by.
Yeah. How'd they not name it County Seed?
I don't know. It's Good Day Farms. I guess I got a bunch of different locations. Central West End, Ellisville, University City, South City, O'Fallon. 20 locations in Missouri. More across Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Killing it. The new Clayton shop is right next to a car wash and some offices. So, convenient stop for locals.
Hey, I'm not in this game. I'm not in the scene, so I don't know.
It's the new Gold Rush.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I've got a lot of friends that are into that kind of stuff, and they all have said the same thing in this last, I'd say, probably year. They've all said, this crap is too powerful. Like, why are we doing this to ourselves? I'm not trying to go to space. I'm not trying
It's a young man's game.
I'm not trying to ayahuasca myself here with the greens. And they all say the same thing. Like, what happened to the old stuff? And I know, I know that, like, our friend group is aging, and I get it, So they're saying, like, what happened to the stuff in the old days? Blah 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 blah. But what I'm asking is, do these places have like a bargain bin in the back or something where you can get something that's like under 20%? And
20%.
Hey, dude.
THC.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I just hung out with some folks up in Canada.
I pitched the Rizz Dispensary in the In Memoriam last week about
Oh, yeah, you missed it.
the old, you were gone. I forgot. I wrote this about, like, hey, man, we need an old school dispensary.
There's just
where it's-
15% and less.
There's a guy named Leroy that works the front door. He takes you through some beads and a dirty kitchen, and there's every bud tender's named Jeff. There's nobody's wearing a polo. Everyone's got a drug rug on. You buy weed the old way. It's got sticks and stems, and you know what you're in for.
Yeah.
I think there's a market. I think there's a business plan.
I think there is,
Do you
too.
think it also just means that?
Call it old heads or something like that.
Yeah, not everybody is looking for
No,
a
no,
Do
ride.
you think it just
stems
means
and seeds.
our parents' generation stuff? They're just way tougher than us, and we're just wimps. And
What you mean, way tougher?
No, the
they
weed
can take
back
No,
in the
that stuff was like
60s was-
8%. Now it's like 34.
Now it's all science.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So, like, these people that I was talking to, they're in their early 40s, okay, and they came up from New York, and they were talking about the dispensaries up in Canada, and they're like, yeah, we couldn't find anything that was under 25%. And I was
Whoa.
like, and then they said, I'm just looking to go to a concert. I don't want to go to Mars. I'm looking to enjoy the concert.
moon, man. You wanna go to the moon.
Not try to figure out how I math this not into an anxiety attack.
Right. You
Or
want
a
some
panic attack.
brown. I want to question whether it's even going to work.
Right.
I want to look at it and be like, is this even real?
And then she was saying that, and she's like, "Where is the market? How do I not have access to something that isn't space cadet stuff?"
Yep.
Is it?
You're right, brother.
Do you think it also is so they can pretend it's not pretend, but medicinal, where it's like they have to have it at a certain level for that?
No, nobody's pretending anything. Everybody's trying to outdo each other with like how
Different strains.
jacked I can
this
get
kind
you.
of hybrid. And
Yeah. I pitched these names: Reefer Sadness, Granddaddy's Ditch, Blockbuster Buzz, Schwagadelic, and Grandpa's Brownies.
Reefer sadness.
I love that.
you know what?
Reefer Sadness was a nostalgic strain that brings you back to a simpler time. That worst side effects include Star 67ing your crush with no real game plan of how the prank's going to play
Oh,
out.
look this up. Somebody says
Worst side effect you're going to have.
somebody said Good Day Farm was owned by Walmart.
That I'm not
That's always the
sure
rumor.
about that.
I don't know.
Cool theory though. Sounds cool.
I'm with you, dude.
If that's true, that's wow.
All right, fine. I'm opening up a competing old head store called Stems and Seeds, okay?
Right.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, that's the. It's just old people can't do new weed, man.
I think
That
people
would be
in
like
general-
if somebody took a Atari controller out of your hand and handed you an Xbox controller. Your brain can't handle it. Too many buttons. You had to work your way into it. So if
when I
you've
was
taken a
9,
break,
It's not about handling it either, and I don't think it's an age thing either. I mean, you're hearing about countless people having panic attacks.
people
and
are saying they
anxiety.
do sell like
Yeah.
12% if
Okay.
you want.
I'm just saying, like,
10%.
It's at the,
I just hear story
yeah, I
after
have to
story.
ask Jeff, your bud tender, for some
Yeah,
low test stuff.
I hear story after story about panic attacks, and it's not just from 40-somethings to 30-somethings. We're talking about teenagers
Yeah.
as well, and you just didn't hear that stuff before. So don't give me this whole like, y'all are just soft or whatever. That's so dorky.
Listen, we're a little soft. It's fine.
Whatever. That's fine.
It's fine. We're a little soft. It's all right.
Hey, Pennywise is a strain that 5 to 10%.
There we go.
And it's named after the clown in It.
Which
That makes
is
me
a
feel
good
very good.
All right, let's
Down
take a break.
here, everything floats.
Let's take a break, but first. And it's brought to us by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill, the official sports bar of the Rizz Show, and home to St. Louis sports fans since 1990. From Waterloo, Illinois, Karen Barbeau-Moore.
Yeah,
Karen.
It's Karen Barbeau-Moore. Karen loves King Scott.
Hey.
Thinks Moon is a hottie toddy.
All right,
I
what's
think
up?
that's reversed. I think she got that wrong.
She can't wait to wake up and turn the radio on to kickstart her morning. She cherishes Lern's laugh and Rizz's pushoverness, and of course, Rafe Williams.
Okay. No adjectives. That's
No,
fine.
that's fine.
I'm the adjective.
Karen loves that the whole gang makes you feel like they're part of the family. The jokes, the generosity, and sincere love for St. Louis is amazing. Karen Barbeau-Moore is our Team Rizz member of the day. Get super sweet Team Rizz member of the day soccer jersey. Get yourself signed up 1057thepoint.com/Team Rizz. Oh, yeah. A new take on Bud Light. Very funny. 314. Bud Light. Bud Scott Light.
Or just Light Bud, because I'm assuming, you would run into some copyright
Probably, yeah.
infringement. Light Bud.
Not if you
Light
spell Bud with 2 Ds.
Good call.
All right, Moon, what do you got for us?
Well, guys, a classic rocker finds out that he has a love child from the 80s. Any guesses?
Me.
Some insane movies announced, and I think we're going to be excited in this room about it, and a wild list of celebrities and how they caught their significant others cheating. It's like celebs are just like us.
You know what? And I know what movie announcement you're gonna talk about, and I got mixed emotions. I'll be honest with you.
Just enjoy the wave, dude. Just surf the wave. Enjoy the ride. Okay, it's going to be great.
All right, we got that. We got your porno birthday, your crappy birthdays. I believe our buddy Polo's going to be here shortly. Polo
See?
Asensio. See, we'll chat with him. Stay there. All right, welcome back to the program. Phone number 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. Our text line is 314-649-DUMB. The Mick Ultra Studio Cams, 1057thepoint.com/Rizz. The socials at RizzShow Show. Your emails, RizzShow, 1057thepoint.com. Friday Fail Stories coming up. Rafe's In Memoriam. Our buddy Polo Asensio will be here later. Any word from him?
No word yet. I did write it in English. Let me try.
Try to hit him up in Spanish, if you would. Hey, if I said the name Rich Donald, everybody in this room would know who that is. But if you've been to Pops, if you've been to the Oz, Rich is the guy in charge. Rich Donald, staple in the bar and concert venue scene, managing at Pops and the Oz for 42 years. And he's a great guy. And we could all attest to that.
Yeah, I love Rich.
He's very giving, very great.
So Rich has been going through some, and Rich is a very proud man, by the way, and he hates that I'm even talking about this. Hates it. But he's gone through some health things over the past couple of years, and he's a recent amputee. And Rich's family and friends are looking to help raise money for medical bills, and his house is not set up to accommodate him.
Oh.
So helping to raise money for medical bills and structural home improvements to accommodate disability needs, making his house now handicap accessible. Again, I know he hates we're even talking about this, but I'm going to do it anyway, Rich. So there is going to be a benefit for our buddy Rich at Pops Sunday, June 22nd. It's going to happen from 3 to 8 o'clock. There's going to be music. There's going to be... damn it. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen you jump in a while.
Oh, scared the hell out of me. Yeah. God damn it.
Sorry.
There's going to be music.
Pressing out this button over here.
Ah!
I didn't know what that button was.
Anyway.
God.
Killed that heartfelt moment. There's going to be music. There's going to be an online auction with various prizes, including concert tickets, top shelf bourbon. There's going to be hotel, getaway stays. 50-50 wheelbarrow of booze, pot shot raffles. So, I mean, there's some big ticket items like a stay at a really nice place in Gulf Shores, Jason Aldean tickets, spa packages. So put this on the calendar, Sunday, June 22nd, 3 to 8 o'clock. Benefit for our buddy Rich Donald, who's going through some stuff, and to help him with the medical bills and the house situation. So we'll put out all the details on our website as well, and our social. So thinking about you, Rich.
Yep. Yes, we are.
All right. So what?
I'm just watching back your jump scare there, bro.
Oh yeah, I pooped my pants, I think, but it's fine.
It's fun.
It's fine.
It's fun to watch. Watch this. And you're just going, what? Sorry, buddy. Anytime I can laugh at you, it's
fine.
It's a good day.
It's a good day. It's Friday, guys.
Friday the 13th, in fact.
Listen, there's some stuff going on in the world of OnlyFans we need to talk about. You have two of the biggest content creators. They're fighting.
Uh-oh.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
This is
news that I think everybody needs to know about and maybe think about this weekend. Probably what's going on around the world. This is probably of the most importance.
Of course.
Some serious drama going down on OnlyFans. So here's what's going on. So Sophie Rain, who is probably at the top of OnlyFans content creation. This chick is printing money.
Sophie Rain?
Sophie Rain, I think she's making like $36 million a year.
Oh my
off
gosh.
this.
And that's Chocolate's daughter, right?
Sophie Rain.
So Sophie Rain is calling out fellow content star Bonnie Blue.
Uh-oh.
For, as Sophie puts it, turning OnlyFans into a, quote, clown show. Why? Well, Bonnie's been banned from OnlyFans after a string of outrageous stunts, including the one that really tipped things over the edge, the now canceled event called the Petting Zoo. Now, this is what Bonnie wanted to do. This is what's going. So here's what's going on OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. Bonnie was planning to get tied up and gagged inside a glass box in the middle of central London, and she was inviting the public to come down and, quote, do whatever they want to her. Like a petting zoo, whatever. Although at petting zoos, there are rules. He can't go to a petting zoo to do whatever you want.
How am I supposed to feed her those little pellets if she's gagged?
Do we know her allergens? Like, is she allergic?
I don't know.
Okay.
Bonnie.
So Bonnie was going to be put inside a glass box in the middle of central London, inviting the public to come down and do whatever they want to her. Unsurprisingly, this did not go down well with OnlyFans, and this didn't sit right with Sophie. Sophie says that Bonnie's antics have crossed the line from empowerment to pure shock value. Quote, it's no longer women empowerment, it's shock value, and she's making a joke out of all of us. And Sophie points out that OnlyFans was built so creators could take control over their own content and livelihoods, not stage fake marriages, pretend pregnancies, or, throw cake at people on the street. And Bonnie's history is full of these headline-grabbing stunts. A staged wedding to a fan, a mock arrest. Even she's the one that slept over 1,000 men in 12 hours. Uh-huh. After her petting zoo plan was scrapped, Bonnie went on to TikTok to say that she was replacing it with something even better. That video's been deleted, by the way. And Sophie's had enough. She says these kinds of stunts make it harder for all the pro creators out there. Brands don't take us seriously anymore. Media doesn't take us seriously. I'm tired of having to explain that not all of us are doing circus acts for clicks. I would really like to know who's running her clown show. Now, OnlyFans itself confirmed Bonnie's ban, making it clear that extreme challenge content isn't tolerated, and any violations means you're out. She was making tens of thousands a month, but all that's gone now. Her page is officially gone. Still, Bonnie's not slowing down. She's already teasing her new, bigger and better live stream event happening tomorrow I don't know what it's going to be. Of course, we'll report next week. Meanwhile, Sophie wants people to remember that most of the girls on OnlyFans, they're there to make an honest living.
Yeah.
There are thousands of women making real money and supporting themselves through this. This platform has been a lifeline for many. So remember, Sophie Rain is a 20-year-old Christian creator from Florida who's famous for being an OnlyFans virgin. She has reportedly turned down offers of over $1 million to lose her virginity on camera, and she's made $40 million while staying true to her brand.
Yeah.
I like she's a Christian.
Hey, whatever.
All right, man.
She also started, her channel is called Bop House.
Oh, no, she's got a house where I guess other OnlyFans girls live and create content.
Compared to the Hype House or the Playboy Mansion, she has created a space where other women come and create content with and for her. It's interesting.
What's
This is an interesting
what's the difference with the house? Like,
compartmentalization.
is it
I'm
like
trying
one
to
of them,
look at what she does.
is it like one of them Instagram
like a
places in the
double-wide?
mall where they got like cool backgrounds?
I
and
think
whatever?
so.
So this is a house
It
with
ain't.
cool.
There's a house where all these
OnlyFans
hot girls live,
backgrounds.
and they're all hot OnlyFans creators.
Okay, but I'm just curious. What does the house offer? Besides, I guess networking opportunity. 'Cause they're in photos with one another.
I guess
I would imagine doing things together and sharing
Yeah,
audiences.
okay, that makes sense.
like tickle fights.
In late 2024, they lip synced to Choppa's TikTok video, lip synced to Choppa's Slut Me Out 2. By July 10th, the pair had been viewed 27 million times.
Yeah. So listen, girls,
I mean,
kiss and make up. Come on, we're all in this together, ladies.
I guess the thing,
Pillow fight.
I get it to a degree, but I'm also like, if it's taking control of your content and your content is pornographic, then anything that lives on a porn site should live on OnlyFans, and that's a wide swath of stuff.
That's what this chick is saying. That Sophie's saying that this is not just about porn. This is about women making money creating their stuff.
right.
It's not about stunts.
It's a fine line.
Huh?
But it's content.
Glad that's not stunts.
If your content is porn,
I don't know.
then that's what.
I don't know what's going on here. Honestly, I saw this story and I go, I'm more interested in the girl putting herself in the glass box and putting herself in the middle of a street in London
Right.
and asking people to just do whatever to her. That's crazy.
She's gonna team up with Chris Angel soon.
It is crazy.
That's
and,
crazy. She's going to be gagged
I
in a glass box.
Can't see that ending well. That gal has very quickly become a master of promotion, though.
And she's killing it.
Publicity, shall we say.
Killing it.
I agree with this Rain chick though that the objectification of women is really bad. The
She's a cute
sexualization and
She said, listen,
Oh, wait.
she's doing her thing.
okay.
Your jealousy's ugly, Scott.
I know,
All
I
right.
know.
Today is June the 13th. Back in the day, 105 years ago in 1920, for some reason, the U.S. Post Office ruled that kids may not be sent by parcel post.
Darn it.
So you cannot, 105 years ago today, it was put on the books, you cannot send a kid through the mail.
Had to be said. And by the way, don't just like dismiss that as something absurd. Because think about travel, okay? I got to get this kid to New York or something like that. And a train ticket costs X amount. But if I put him in a box, the USPS is going to take him for a tenth of the price.
Yeah, just a couple stamps.
Yeah, you just handle it. Here's some food. Here's a couple bananas.
Right. I mean, I don't know the story behind it. I should probably look into it more. But, I mean,
It's gotta
happened-
be.
It happened enough where they had to put it on the books.
Yeah, it's not that it's not.
Is this where the term tramp, like the old timey term for tramp stamp came from?
I'm just saying somebody's
Tramp
not,
stamp?
Yeah, because they put the
No.
little stamp.
somebody's not trying to ship a kid because they think it's a cargo. They're trying to get a cargo ticket. They're trying to get the travel for the
Yeah.
cargo ticket price. And honestly, totally understandable.
Heck yeah.
I mean,
Like
heck,
horseback and
if it were legal, I'm sure there'd be a whole system by this time set up for it.
Yeah, so back in the early 1900s, people actually tried to send kids through the mail. Like that was a thing.
Yeah, and again, I'm sure there's reality to it that was pretty practical
I guess so.
at some point.
59 years ago, 1966, police became required to tell suspects their rights because of the Supreme Court's decision in the Miranda versus Arizona case. So the justices ruled that suspects must be informed of their constitutional rights prior to being questioned by police. And these rights are now known as Miranda rights because of 23-year-old Ernesto Miranda, the criminal who took his case to the Supreme Court. 30 years ago today, 1995, Alanis Morissette puts out her third record. Remember we had Luke Spencer on here earlier this week talking about the third records that made the artist the most famous?
Yeah.
Alanis' third record, Jagged Little Pill, came out today, 30 years ago.
Gosh dang.
15 years ago, 2010, country music and breakfast sausage legend Jimmy Dean dies at the age of 81. And 8 years ago today, in 2017, Beyonce gives birth to her twins, Sir and Rumi Carter. And that's what happened back in the day. All right, time to find out what's going on in the world of music and entertainment with your crap on celebrities.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start here. Rick Moranis has been gone way too long. We all agree there.
Sure.
Even the Ghostbusters stuff couldn't lure him back into Hollywood, but we have an official release announcement, if you will, that he will be playing Dark Helmet in Spaceballs 2.
Yeah, Spaceballs 2. Okay, so and we got the announcement here. Should I just play this?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Is this the announcement with Mel Brooks?
Whenever one you put here.
Yeah, that's Mel Brooks. Okay, yeah. Let's hear him.
Right, here's Mel Brooks.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie. May the Schwartz be with you.
Okay, so by the way, Mel Brooks looks terrific. He is in his late 90s. Mm-hmm. I think he got new teeth.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, they're not meant to last so long.
He got new, like, nice white chompers.
Good for him.
Yeah, you have baby teeth, adult teeth, and then dinosaur teeth.
Dinosaur teeth.
Yeah.
He looks good. So the Spaceballs 2 is happening. Rick Moranis will be back. Bill Pullman will be back. Obviously, no John Candy, no Dick Van Patten, no
Joan Rivers.
No Joan Rivers.
Too busy?
Too busy.
Yeah, Bill Pullman is back. Mel Brooks is back as Yogurt, and presumably President Scroob. He played both characters. Now, Josh Gad co-wrote the script, and he's expected to be in it as well. Pullman's son, Louis Pullman, has officially been cast, along with Keke Palmer. No word on who they're playing. Also, no word on the other returning cast members. Now, Mel released that teaser yesterday. There's no footage because I guess filming hasn't begun yet, but they did do like a text crawl.
They did the crawl.
The Star Wars prequel, sequel crawl, you know.
Did you see it all? I read the whole thing. It's hilarious.
No, is it just...
It's nonsense.
Comedy gold?
Yeah.
Okay. It then lists all the Dune and Jurassic Park and Avatar and Marvel movies, plus DC's 2 attempts to start a cinematic universe in just about any other overdone franchise that you can name.
Love it.
Historically, these sequels that come, 30, 40 years later have not been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch The History of the World
Yeah, I didn't love
thing?
it.
Yeah, I mean...
I didn't love it.
I laughed.
I didn't love it. In fact, I didn't because I love History of the World. I love all Mel Brooks movies.
I almost saw
huge
it.
Fan.
I almost saw it as fan fiction, even though I know that it wasn't. It was officially sanctioned, because that gap was so different and the tone was so different that I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't consider it a sequel.
I was disappointed by it, and Spaceballs is in my top 10 of favorite movies of all time. Mm-hmm. And I just don't want the legacy destroyed. That's it. I'm trying to protect the legacy of this movie.
But you can't destroy
Aren't
it.
you
It's
kind of
encapsulated.
excited?
Is it?
Yeah, of course. It's
I just
got
don't
a
want people
shield.
to think less.
Nobody's going to think anything.
No.
I was ranting and raving at the dinner table yesterday, as I do. Mm-hmm. And my son goes, I never seen it. I go, I actually made a
Well, remember when the Star Wars sequels happened and you had that shot? One of the promo shots was Darth Vader's helmet, the burned helmet.
That's what they did for this.
Yeah, this ends with Rick Moranis' cracked helmet and the tagline, The Schwartz Awakens in 2027.
So is that what it's going to be?
I was going to say, it sounds like a possible title.
This is awesome.
But we don't know anything.
And you see the other update with Moranis. They're they're making a new version of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and he's coming back for that as well.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Wow.
Shrunk.
Mel Brooks was wearing a sweatshirt that said Spaceballs, and it said the sweatshirt.
I want that.
I hope they cash in. I hope.
No, I think the rule is they cannot. The rule was, and you can look this up, that when Mel Brooks got permission from George Lucas to do the movie. He promised him no merchandise. And that's why that whole scene would, we got lunchboxes, Spaceballs, a flamethrower, and, the yogurt doll, no merchandise.
Huh.
Bummer.
Well,
okay.
I don't know about you guys, but I saw the Bee Movie, or at least I heard it 1,000 times because I had the DVD in my minivan for the kids. So I've heard Jerry Seinfeld's Bee Movie over and over and over, and people are buzzing about this idea. The comedic genius posted about the possibility of a live-action sequel to his 2007 animated hit Bee Movie. That came out nearly 20 years ago, number 4 on Netflix. He wrote on Instagram showing a hand holding a tennis ball with a honeybee on it. And then the next slide was the movie's poster, an image of Seinfeld's character Barry B. Benson, similarly straddling a tennis ball. I don't know how I feel about this. When I first read it, I was like, oh, he's got to be joking because that last movie was so bad.
Oh, the Pop-Tarts movie?
Yeah, and it was slammed.
Did anybody see it? I watched part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was, it's a movie.
Now,
Did you see it, Rafe?
No. I started watching it one day, and
I couldn't finish it.
I think I got up to do dishes, lost interest.
Me too.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I completed the film, but it was still one of those where you're like, hey, it's fun to see these people and whatever.
I don't know if you remember this, but B-Movie actually was pretty stacked as far as cast. Renee Zellweger, Matthew Broderick, John Goodman, Chris Rock, Kathy Bates, Megan Mullally, Oprah Winfrey, Larry King, Ray Liotta, Sting, and it was also George Costanza was in that as well.
Jason Alexander.
Yeah, if I remember right. Hey, St. Louis's own Nelly and Ashanti are putting their lives on TV for all to see. Yes, a reality show. They announced an upcoming reality show called Nelly and Ashanti, We Belong Together. A show synopsis says Nelly and Ashanti rekindle their love, navigate the ups and downs of being newlyweds and new parents, and juggle their careers. The 8-episode series will air on Peacock starting June 26th. So
Ashanti TV.
Just a few days away. I feel like that's a kiss of death, though, isn't it? Like getting a tattoo of a girlfriend or something is basically just like cursing yourself. I feel like reality shows about relationships.
Well,
didn't Nelly have one? Didn't Nelly have a reality show?
He was on, was it one of the, he was on one of the big shows.
I think he had one. He had a reality show. Well, here's the trailer for the new one.
I'm a wee bit dramatic.
In the beginning, we were still finding where we were going.
We were together off and on for 11 years before the final.
I hated her.
I hated him. I didn't think that we would get back together.
She got me, y'all.
He wanted to get got.
Okay.
All right. Well, details on a love child from Billy Idol that he didn't know about until a few years ago have surfaced. Check this out. Billy Idol's daughter, Bonnie, shared in a new doc called Billy Idol Should Be Dead.
So Billy's got a daughter, Bonnie? Billy and Bonnie Idol?
I guess so.
Uh-oh.
She said that my husband just surprised me with a DNA test as a Christmas present a few years ago. And then a few weeks later, I get the results back on an app, and I open it, and I'm like, who is this? This Brant. His info reads, New York, 1985, looking for my biological dad. I was like, what? So Brant, Idol's love child, grew up believing his dad was somebody else until a different DNA questioned his mother's claim about his father. So then he confronts his mother, and his mother says this, quote, well, it's pretty crazy, son. Back in the day, we broke up, and I actually spent an entire weekend with Billy Idol. Now, fans have done the math, and they calculate that Brant was conceived during Idol's wildly successful 1984 Rebel Yell tour. So Idol wholeheartedly accepts Brant as his family and, quote, says, I really enjoy being a dad. I always wanted a boy and a girl, and I finagled my way into a boy and a girl. I actually had a son that I didn't realize who I fathered on the Rebel Yell tour without knowing it. So I somehow finagled this as well. Brant was at Idol's Walk of Fame ceremony back in 2023. So they've had a relationship for the last couple of years.
This.
Pretty wild, right?
This is cool. He's actually nice about it. He just seems like he's a nice fellow.
I have heard nothing but great stuff about
Well,
I would love to meet
he's
that guy.
banned from the Dominican Republic.
him.
He's not allowed to in the country.
Yeah.
For what?
Too many.
Why?
The official reason was cited that his public persona was contrary to the morals and customs of Dominican society.
So they banned the character.
His ban and equipment were already in Santo Domingo. This was back in 1989. And I believe that he was on vacation there before, like he came to the country beforehand.
Yeah.
And was so out of control.
Oh, cool. That's rock and roll.
That they were like, you cannot, and this is 1989, so around that time, we are asking you to leave and never come back.
Dang. And Steve Stevens is over here just going, hey, I just want to shred. Amazon Prime Video is about to double the number of commercials shown per hour on its ad-supported membership level. Congratulations. An Adweek report got the news from an Amazon spokesperson about the amount of commercials going to 4 to 6 minutes per hour from the 2 to 3 minutes that Prime users are used to. In 2024, subscribers had an ad-free access. They were actually forced to pay an extra $3 a month to maintain that status. So doubling the ads
doubling the ads.
Did you guys hear about the Jay-Z bet?
Yes, I did hear about this.
He, just like Rizz and just like every one of my friends were like, the Pacers are going to get gentleman's sweep.
The gentleman's sweep, and I put money on this as well. Not as much as Jay-Z did.
Well, Jay-Z is out $1 million. He lost a bet on the NBA Finals. He did place a bet prior to the series, banking on Oklahoma City Thunder to win the championship in 5 games. And so was the rest of the planet. And you all lost.
So the gentleman's sweep is a 5-game win. So, obviously... if it's a 7-game series, you need 4 games to win, but you win in the 5th game. So you give the opponent 1 win.
Yeah.
It's the gentleman thing.
And the Pacers won too.
Sweet.
The Pacers are up now 2-1.
Dude, the Pacers are up to this.
Dude, I
Is,
told
is
you.
ins-
I told you that team.
Oklahoma is
you-
impossible to beat, and yet,
there's something about this Pacers team.
yeah.
Which was my sentence when you
You
were
said,
like,
I know you said it.
Ever since they brought Reggie Miller back.
hey, Jay-Z's going to be fine. He's got $2.5 billion. Now, he stood to win $3.5 million if the bet had cashed in, but he lost $1 million. So, you guys remember Spinal Tap?
Of course. The movie, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the album cover debate that they're having in the hotel is about why the label doesn't want the record to be put out with the particular cover. So they end up with an all-black cover, and as Nigel would say, none more black. It was because the original had a woman on all fours with a dog leash on it, and it was deemed sexist. Remember,
Yes.
Fran Drescher is talking to him, and then Nigel says, what's wrong with being sexy? Well, get this, guys. It's happening in freaking real life. I swear Sabrina Carpenter watched Spinal Tap.
Did you see the cover?
I saw the cover, and to be honest, let me read you this story, because when I'm looking at it, or when I'm reading about it, I think, well, this could go a number of ways. And then all of a sudden I see it, and even I was kind of like, oh, yikes.
No, so I saw the cover, and I go, whoa.
Okay, so let me explain. Let me get back to my thing here. The cover's up on the screen here for you guys to see. She has a new album. She announced it yesterday, and it's causing a lot of controversy. It's called Man's Best Friend. The cover has Sabrina on all fours in front of a man who's pulling a handful of hair.
Right.
A women's advocacy group in Scotland called it regressive, saying it reduces women to, quote, pets, props, and possessions, and promotes an element of violence and control. Now, Sabrina's fans are defending it, of course, and saying, no, this is just satire. And in the commentary...
Is it a metaphor for... I don't know. I saw this yesterday without any context. And I go, whoa.
Yeah, whoa is right. They're saying it's commentary on how badly women are treated, and some are pointing out that the first single, Man-Child, actually makes fun of men. And here's a clip of Man-Child.
Okay, this is Man-Child from Sabrina Carpenter. Okay, here we go.
To be honest, it's not great. It sounds like ABBA or something.
Well, what is that? Without any
What song is
context,
that?
you see that and you go, whoa, is she being submissive?
Yeah, but I think her first album is the context. If you listen, it's a great album. And I listened to the whole thing. I really came around on her.
I love that song,
If you
Espresso. I'm a
listen
huge
to
fan.
her album, she knows the lyrics, she knows what she's doing. It's a satirical takedown of pop music.
Oh,
And-
that's cool.
Like, she appreciates pop, but there's a lot of satire in the lyrics about... And if you listen to the album as a piece, you can really hear it in there. And it made me, I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. And I honestly, dude, her first album is good. I listened to the whole thing on a road trip because I was like, I'm going to dive in. I'm getting old and I'm starting to turn off to new music and I'm trying to like be open to it. And honestly, it was really good. And I think if you look at her first album, all contextual clues point to this being
Yeah, but
a satirical
though, like
thing.
14-year-old girls love Sabrina Carpenter. And
Yeah.
those, that's who's going to her shows.
Sure.
Do they understand the satire?
They will.
Yeah, maybe
I hope
eventually.
that they do.
probably do
They
more
will
than we will.
eventually.
I'm all about artists pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
So I think this is like controversial by design, and it's probably going to end up being a good thing.
Can I hear that sample of her song again?
But it is wild.
If this was her idea and not some record exec pressuring her to do it,
You
then
want
who
to hear
cares?
the song again?
Yeah, I just want to hear that.
I'm a fan. I like her. She got an old
thought they
school
were
look to her,
sampling
too.
something.
Right? She got an old school, like, blonde bombshell kind of look to her.
which
Sure.
is by design, I think. Like even her.
She's a cutie, man.
All right. So, speaking of bombshells, Pope Leo, he's pretty famous now. Maybe not even the most famous guy in this family. The New York Times researched his family tree and found out, guess who Pope Leo is related to?
Oh.
Lots and lots of celebrities. Chicago's own. He's an American
Chicago's
feller.
own Pope Leo.
The link is an ancestor about 6 generations back, Louis Boucher de Grand Prix, born in Quebec. And because of him, Leo is distant cousins with Justin Bieber, Justin Trudeau, Angelina Jolie, Hillary Clinton, Jack Kerouac, and Madonna. Apparently,
of
they are
course.
all related in some way, which is pretty wild. Now, the Madonna is related to the Pope, causing so much trouble in her earlier days. Hey, you guys ever wondered how the creators of Friends came up with the character of Joey Tribbiani?
Yes.
Apparently, we have the answer. Joey Lawrence, which I know you do a great impression of. Yeah. He claims that Matt LeBlanc's character was based on his character, Joey Russo from Blossom. He says Joey Russo was so successful that when they were creating Friends, they wanted a 25-year-old version of that. And supposedly Matt's character wasn't even called Joey, but they changed it because of the Blossom character being so successful, and that they sent him a bunch of tapes of Joey Russo to the new, Matt LeBlanc, Joey Tribbiani guy, so he could.
I can see that. They're very similar.
Yeah, that's
Very
pretty
similar
neat, actually.
characters.
They wanted him to have a yellow notepad and take notes on how he portrayed Joey Russo, supposedly. I guess the Grammys were sick of hearing about Beyonce deserving to win the Best Country Album for Cowboy Carter because they just announced a major change. Check this out. For next year's Grammys, the award formerly known as Best Country Album will now be called Best Contemporary Country Album. And they also are adding a new category called Best Traditional Country Album.
Yeah.
So 1 year after Beyonce wins, making this time, even more clickbaity and a perfect time to put something out like this. According to the Grammy website, quote, traditional country music, quote, adheres to the more traditional sound structures of the country genre, including rhythm and singing style, lyrical content, as well as traditional country instrumentation like acoustic guitar, steel guitar, fiddle, banjo, mandolin, piano, and live drums.
So who's the arbiter here?
So they're saying where contemporary country music remains reminiscent and relevant to the legacy of country music's culture while also engaging in more contemporary music forms. Some people were saying, well, if this is the fact, then Morgan Wallen and Post Malone better not be in the traditional country category anymore.
So they're an adult contemporary country, which is awesome. So this means Alison Krauss will sweep the Grammys next year. Guaranteed.
I don't know. It's the great divide.
She's going to be the #1 Grammy holder.
So the Grammys have officially split country into 2. New in theaters this weekend, How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action thing. It's also being played on IMAX, I believe. Materialists and The Life of Chuck. And No Crap On is Good without a list. So we'll close out here.
Sure.
Nothing like a good breakup story. 7 times a celebrity has found out their partner was cheating in an unconventional way. We will start at the bottom here with this is an ancient history. It was tabloid, huge news back in 1958, but actress Debbie Reynolds was missing her husband, Eddie Fisher.
Oh, yeah. So he had, what's her name? The white diamonds.
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Taylor.
Taylor.
So she decided to, so Eddie Fisher was gone on tour. Debbie Reynolds was missing her. So she decided to give her friend Elizabeth Taylor a call, who answered Liz's phone, Eddie friggin' Fisher. Eddie left Debbie and married Liz, but that only lasted about 5 years. So she found out because he answered her phone.
Wow.
At her place.
Whoops.
Eva Longoria's marriage to NBA star Tony Parker ended in 2010 after she found inappropriate texts with another woman on his phone. That's a pretty standard one. This one's pretty wild. I don't remember this. Laura Dern. We all know Laura Dern, Jurassic Park.
She was married to Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton was being unfaithful, and the news broke that Laura Dern found out that he was being unfaithful when the news broke that he had eloped with Angelina Jolie.
That's right.
So he had already eloped with Angelina in 2000.
That's how she found out.
She was away making a movie and never saw it coming.
She's got kind of a track record of that, it seems like.
Billy Bob?
Angelina.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that happened with Brad, too, like on the set of a movie. Like they kind of.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hurley, who's been in news recently because she's with old boy. She found out that Hugh Grant was cheating on her in 1995 when he got arrested for getting it on Sunset Boulevard with a
what was her
prostitute
name?
named
Brown.
Beautiful face.
No.
Sexy chocolate,
no.
sexy
No,
brown.
Divine Brown.
Divine Brown.
They didn't break up till 2000. They're still friends. Kourtney Kardashian dumped Scott Disick in 2008 after finding texts on his phone from a contact called My Wife. They did an on and off thing until 2015 when photos emerged of Scott with another woman in France. Britney Spears. I did not know this one. Britney Spears started dating lawyer David Lucado in 2012. In 2014, her father found out that there were paparazzi footage of David kissing another woman. He bought the photos to prevent it from being released, and Britney broke it off.
Whoa.
And Demi Moore learned that Ashton Kutcher was having an affair in 2011 from a Google alert. When she called him on it, he admitted it right away. Her response was, "Are you effing kidding me?" And that is your crap on celebrities.
All right, celebrities celebrating a birthday this weekend. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is probably going to be the next James Bond. He's kick-ass. He's Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Wow.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, again, probably be the next James Bond, is 35. The Olsen twins, Mary Kate and Ashley. How old are they?
Oh, they got to be 40?
Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Remember the whole when are they turning 18 countdowns and all those creepy dudes' computers?
They've had to have hit 40 now.
They're 39.
Oh.
Hey, was this the kid? I don't know how old is he. How old is he? 35. Is this the guy that was in the new Gladiator?
No.
Okay, they're
Goes
kind of
in
that's
Bullet
Paul Mescal.
Train.
they're kind of similar, right?
A little bit.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, he was kick-ass.
He was Craven.
good,
He was
Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron.
Oh yeah, he's way cuter.
the
than
human
Paul
star of
Mescal.
2014's Godzilla. Kat Dennings from Two Broke Girls is 39. Tim Lincecum, former Giants and Angels pitcher who won 2 National League Cy Young Awards, is 41. Chris Evans, Captain America, is 44. Ethan Embry, he was Rusty in Vegas Vacation. Career character
Nick
actor.
Papagiorgio?
Yes, is 49.
God, that was such a good. He had the best story arc in Vegas Vacation.
People say he was the best Rusty.
He was a good
Yeah,
one.
He was a great one.
Steve-O, our buddy, it's his birthday today. He turns 51.
Nice.
NPH, Neil Patrick Harris, 52. Weezer lead singer Rivers Cuomo, 55. Leah Remedy from King of Queens is 55. Ice Cube, 56. Courtney Cox, 61. Helen Hunt, 62. Boy George, 64. Jim Belushi, 71. Tim Allen, 72. President Trump, 79. Malcolm McDowell. Alex DeLarge in A Clockwork Orange. He turns 82. And Marla Gibbs, who was Florence the maid in The Jeffersons. She is
227.
and Marianne 227.
91.
96.
Marla Gibbs.
93.
Still kicking it. She is 94.
Oh, congratulations.
Today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where Fun and Fantasy meet, is Gwen Summers. And today's birthday girl has been in 266 fine films, including 18 and Confused, Amish Daughters, Burning Desires, Scott's favorite, the classic Clam Smackers.
Those are back at Long John Silver's.
Yeah. Clam Smackers, all right.
Yeah.
Faces with Braces. Oh, God, I hate that one. Fast Times at Deep Crack High 2, Honeymoon Heat, Liquid Gold 1, Moon's favorite series, Pimped by an Angel 1 and 2.
Aw.
Pimped by an Angel. Did that have Della Reese in it, too?
Yes.
Sent by an angel.
And who can fake it or roll? In 1999's Street Meat.
Wow.
Gwen,
Wow, that's
Street meat at the Wuhan market.
Gwen Summers is 47 years old. That's your porno birthday. Those are your crappy birthdays, and that was your crap on celebrities.
I'd like to point out, that's the second
Yes, sir.
time Fast Times at Crack
Deep crack high.
Deep crack highs come up this week.
It's a pretty big series.
Must be a pretty big series.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we have your Friday fail stories. Some good ones. Good ones this week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for your Friday fail stories. All right. Thank you. So everybody thought they had the perfect plan, but somewhere along the line, that perfect plan went completely sideways, and it became an Uber, an ultra.
Yep.
Dare I say it?
Don't do it.
Mega. Oh, yeah.
Fail.
All right.
That's so.
Nice job, fellas. Friday Fail Stories sponsored by.
Moritz Royce Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Rizzuto Show.
Is Polo here? Where
Polo is here.
are they outside?
I heard a polo.
He's. I just saw him walking in. He said he was going to be here in 8 minutes. That was a half an hour ago.
Okay.
And, time moves slower.
Well, here we go. I don't know what it takes to have your Sam's Club membership revoked. It's got to take a lot, right?
It's got to be a lot.
This has to do it. A 70-year-old guy from Florida facing charges for allegedly peeing on hundreds of cans of Spam at a Sam's Club near Orlando. His name is Patrick Mitchell. Happened on May 30th. He pleaded not guilty in court this week. Cops say he was at a Sam's Club in Lady Lake, Florida, when he stopped to urinate on 2 pallets of canned goods.
What the heck are you talking about? What did Spam ever do to him?
A pallet of Spam and a big stack of Vienna sausages.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a anti-spam thing.
After he unzipped, he wandered around the snack section for a while, sat down on some piano furniture for about 10 minutes, then paid for everything in his cart and has left.
Did you say piano furniture?
Piano furniture. Oh, I'm sorry, patio.
Oh, I was like, wouldn't that be a bench?
Yeah, patio furniture. I'm sorry, patio.
I don't get it.
Patio furniture. They ID'd him using his info from his Sam's Club card and arrested him at his home. He lived at the Villages, facing charges for disorderly conduct, criminal mischief. The second one is a felony because he damaged over $1,000 worth of merch. The store had to throw everything out on the pallets. That's over 3,300 cans of Vienna sausages, 2,700 cans of Spam, combined value $10,585.
Dude.
Fail.
You love this story because this is your future neighbor, man.
I'm not going to live in the Villages.
Yes, you are.
No, I told you I'm going to Boca.
Yeah, at first. That's just phase one.
No. It's Boca or bust.
Phase one.
Boca, no, I will never move to the Villages. That's not my scene.
I think you just cursed yourself. I think you just
No, the Village is not my scene. We want the beach.
It's not your scene right now.
But the whole thing is we're moving to Florida to be near the water. The Villages is landlocked.
That's how it all starts.
Really?
That's how it all starts. Oh yeah, the Villages is inland. Like it's just random ass swampland.
How did I not know that? For some reason, I thought it was a beach.
No, but,
No,
they got
no.
they got their own little ponds or lake
Yeah,
or
no,
some,
no,
some
no, our
crap.
whole
If there was a beach, would you be in?
Possibly.
There is a beach,
Nice.
but I think it's like a little lake or something.
Yeah, but we want the ocean
Sure you do.
or the Gulf.
You'll
You're going to be Seinfeld's
Okay, you wanna bet?
parents, dude.
yeah, I would like to bet.
You're going to be Seinfeld's parents.
It's Boca. Boca,
That's
baby.
where they were.
Boca.
Del Vista Boca.
No, there we're moving to Boca Vista, which is like the Villages. We're not doing that. This jerk here is quite the animal whisperer. A 40-year-old guy in Kentucky named Jonathan Mason, arrested for releasing a wild raccoon into a bar. And he allegedly did it because they threw him out. They threw him out and warned him not to return. The raccoon did bite somebody inside. There aren't any specifics on that, but it sounds like they'll be all right. The police say they are familiar with this guy, who's also known as, quote, Cowboy Cody.
Heck yeah, dude.
Back in December, he drunkenly rode a mule into a liquor store.
Nice. Why is this guy in fails? This guy should be in Friday Succeeds.
Yeah, was the mule drunk?
The mule was taken away by police. Then a couple days after that, Jonathan hammered again, unsuccessfully tried to retake the mule, so he was arrested.
Fail.
Oh, look who it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Polo Asensio. What happened to I'm 8 minutes away.
You coming from L.A.?
You know what?
Good morning.
Good. Hey.
Good morning.
Oh,
Good morning, bud.
my boy.
What's up, dude? How are you?
How you
Hola.
doing?
Hola.
Oh, sit down. 8 minutes.
No, well, you know,
405 was crazy
so
today.
this is what happened. This is,
Put these tiny headphones on his giant head.
He's got headphones. Oh, you want to see tiny headphones on the giant head?
I gotta do, man. Come on, use these.
so
use these.
I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys it's gonna break.
Oh, man.
I don't know if you guys have seen in my
Must fit
my
perfect,
Instagram. I made a hat. I'm not gonna give him a plug because they didn't give me a discount. It's this company that makes huge hats, like baseball hats. I'll show you the picture.
Oh yeah, these things.
Yeah. And I was gonna bring it to wear it, just,
Yeah.
to be whatever. But then I'm like, no, the headphones are not gonna fit because it's so big.
Oh,
but
yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's a
no.
new thing. Those giant novelty hats.
So
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah, those are
Watch
hilarious.
these things are gonna come back. Like they are gonna make a comeback.
Your
This
tiny
tiny
headphones?
tiny
Especially after
headphones.
today.
That's why I'm holding on to 'em.
Especially after today. But anyway, what's up, guys?
How
we
doing?
doing?
I'm just doing Friday fail stories. if
Friday
that's-
fail. I'm a big fail. I mean, I was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock.
fine.
8:15. But as I was telling my beautiful friend here at King Scott, I was coming out. Like I was leaving my apartment, and then nature called. That morning,
number
nature
2,
called.
huh?
Number 2. It was more like 4 because I had some ricotta cheese yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was just it was a fail.
I found a picture of you in your hat.
But
It's right there.
Yep.
That's
got
you.
it. That's not me. That is not me. But that's the hat. But not me wearing that
Not
hat.
that hat?
No.
Let's talk about.
Yes,
let's
please.
talk about the. Anybody ever hike in the Adirondacks?
No,
Setting one.
that's hard to. Those chairs don't move.
And as a kid, I went hiking in the Adirondack Mountains in New York. So 2 hikers called 911 to report a third member of their party had died. So the forest ranger rolled out. This happened a couple Saturdays ago. This is at the Cascade Mountain. So 2 hikers called in, hey, one of our buddy died. And so forest ranger rolls out. Turns out the 2 hikers had taken mushrooms and were mistaken.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The ranger said the hikers were in an altered mental state. The supposedly dead person called and was like, I'm not injured. I'm fine. The ranger had to escort the 2 hikers down to an ambulance where they were taken to the hospital and brought the third guy who they thought was dead to the campsite. They all later met up and everything's fine.
Wow.
We just spilled coffee.
Failed.
Polo?
You're a mess today.
Immediately.
No.
Comes into the studio immediately.
No. Somebody offered me coffee, and they put the lid on. So I go for the first morning sip. The first one.
You complain about this often.
The first that sip you're waiting for it. Like
Yeah,
I'm
I'm ready.
Here, remember that vine of this little dude talking about taking the first sip of his Hennessy. You know that one?
Nope, not familiar.
So I was about to take the first. I'm a mess right now.
You can't say
no. But so I'm
Polo
getting ready to take the first sip. You're waiting for the first kiss.
Yeah.
And then, well, luckily my sweater didn't get. But this guy right here, this guy with the long hair, I don't know what happened.
Is this going to be a McDonald's I'm suing you situation? Because we got no money here.
Well, no. I was lucky enough. I was sitting down, but it's all good. It's all
Okay.
good. Sorry.
Hey, when you fly back to LA, Polo.
Yes, sir.
And I know the Cardinals are in Milwaukee.
Yes.
This weekend. You're in town.
I'm in town.
Nice.
Well, yeah, no. This is one of those FX things. I'm not in town.
No, but I mean,
Somewhere else.
usually you'll go back to LA.
Yeah.
But you're staying in town, right?
Yes.
When you fly back to LA, what airline we usually fly in?
I go 85% of the time. I go American.
American.
Yeah.
We've all flown Spirit, right?
I have not.
No.
You've never flown Spirit Airlines?
Oh, you're missing out.
Oh, you're missing out, buddy.
What are we, poor?
Easy.
Oh, hey, it's a discount airline.
Okay.
And they have cheap direct flights to Cancun.
Yeah.
So it's,
they do.
I'm flying Allegiant soon.
Okay, well,
Legion's good. I like
Legion's good. It's no Spirit, but fine.
that. Yeah. Way to not go
Yeah.
the more fun route.
Allegiant's
So
great.
if this happened in a movie, you'd think it's too dumb to believe. But apparently some people still think they could get away with this. 23-year-old guy, John Robinson, was late for a Spirit Airlines flight from Detroit to L.A. last Thursday morning. So he called in a bomb threat. The plane was still there. And they did have to remove all the passengers, interview them, screen them again. The flight finally left 6 hours later. John arrested when he got to the airport later that day to take a different flight. And it sounds like he wasn't going to be able to take the delayed flight anyway. So I guess the bomb threat was pointless. And the police say they easily traced the call back to John using phone records, and he later admitted to the FBI that he made the call, quote, with the hope that it would delay the flight long enough for him to make it, charged with maliciously giving false information about an explosive and banned for life.
Banned from any
Spirit, and I'm sure he's on some list now.
I think we all are in some list. If there was a list, Rizz, what's your list? Yeah.
Santa's good list. Of course.
I don't know.
If I'm going to get banned from an airline,
Spirit's fine.
I hope it's a Spirit. Yeah. I mean, that's really a starter. That's a good starter band. Now, if it's everybody, that's a problem. But if it's just Spirit being like, you can't ride, and I'll be like, I feel like that goes away.
Fine.
In 2
There's always
months.
Frontier.
I feel like in 2 months, Spirit's like, all right, come on back.
If you get banned
It's
from
like your parents grounding you.
Yeah, we need somebody in the front of the plane to balance the weight.
Spirit is. I mean, it is your no frills. Like the seats don't recline. You're lucky if you get a tray that goes down.
They're not padded.
They're plastic.
They're plastic chairs.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah.
They're like the. Yeah,
It's like
they're
hard bus, like not
I'm
even bus seats.
Like I'm sitting at a Cardinals
like the
game up at the
Metrolink.
top.
Yeah, it's like you're sitting on hard plastic so they can wipe them down easier and they don't have to worry about like changing the cushions out.
Kind of like a stadium seat.
You fart on a Spirit airline, you're not getting away with it. It's it is going to have some reverb.
Somebody's spirits are
It's sound like
coming
the steel
out.
drums and Tango and Cash.
Yeah, did the window just creak?
Somebody let the spirits out.
Yeah, the spirit's out of your ass.
That's right.
Speaking of, so a guy in Indianapolis, he was caught shoplifting at a Family Dollar store on Monday morning. And initially, the guy got away with it. No word on what merch he stole, but it's Family Dollar, so it couldn't have been worth that much. So an employee named Jerome Stepp was not having it. He goes, nah, not at this Family Dollar.
Not on my watch.
So once cops were called, he decided to go look for the guy himself. And he found him 15 minutes later, just a couple blocks away, and shot the robber in the ass.
Oh, man.
Another employee was with Jerome when it happened. Police say it was his fiance. They both work at the Family Dollar. He fired 2 shots, and the guy dropped the stolen merch when the second one hit him in the backside. I don't know what kind of charges he's facing, but Jerome, the employee, is the one who's really in trouble. Turns out, guys, you can't just go shooting people for shoplifting. I know. I know.
When they change that?
I know.
That's a shocker.
I know. Jerome, the Family Dollar employee, probably will be Employee of the Month.
Yeah.
He is facing 2 felony charges for aggravated battery and criminal recklessness.
Failed.
Told you. I knew a dude in high school that chased a guy out, and he beat him and detained him and then was fired. Because the rule was you don't chase somebody stealing nothing. Let him go. This dude was also like 5th degree black belt or whatever the heck he was.
Right.
I mean, he could have killed this guy.
Were his hands registered?
His hands were registered weapons. That's why he was fired. Because he was on the registry.
We all know that before you kidnap somebody, you need to eat a good meal. Because you never kidnap somebody on an empty stomach. Am I right?
You should.
Right.
We've
That
been
makes
preaching
more
this.
sense.
We've been preaching this forever.
If you do
on this
eat,
show.
you should wait 45 minutes before you kidnap someone.
Of course, you don't want to cramp up.
Exactly.
Or you know what happened to me.
Or
this
what happened
morning.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no dairy heavy.
No. Be
No
hydrated.
dairy heavy meals before you kidnap somebody. So this one takes us to Milford, Connecticut, where a kidnapper, his hunger got the best of him. So 28-year-old Alexander Matthews forced somebody at knife point to drive him around Stamford, probably to go to an ATM to probably withdraw money. Somewhere along the way, Alex decided, I am famished. Before we continue on, can you swing by the McDonald's so I could pick up maybe a quick number 2 and then we'll on with our evening? Demanded a pit stop at McDonald's while Alex was inside getting his meal. The victim called 911.
No.
Wild.
Quick thinking.
Police show up. Alex takes off. Officers catch up with him. Still carrying the knife he used for the kidnapping, now facing kidnapping, threatening, and breach of peace charges.
Failed.
Plus the embarrassment of knowing that you're the kidnapper who couldn't skip lunch.
Well,
Did he get paid for their meal at least?
And all along, he went in to get a number 2, which we all know is a 2 cheeseburger meal. So he was probably getting a cheeseburger for the victim.
Is it still the 2 cheeseburger meal?
I just looked up. I just said
Somebody said it's
McDonald's
not.
number 2 meal, and it says 2 cheeseburger meal.
Oh, it still is?
Oh, yeah, so he's being nice.
I don't know,
He
maybe
gets
the
in
internet
trouble
is
for it.
mistaken.
I thought Big Mac was 1, Quarter Pounder was 2, but maybe I'm wrong.
When I was in the service,
I have not been in McDonald's.
the number 2 was the 2 cheeseburger meal.
Let's see here. Number 2.
Maybe it's just coming up that because I put in the number 2.
One time I bought like 40 cheeseburgers. Remember when they were like 20 cents each?
That's back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Dude, I lived on the dollar
It was on
menu.
like Tuesdays.
People laughed at me. We were going to Six Flags down in Valencia, California. My brothers was in the car. My brother-in-law, they were like teenagers then. And I bought a bunch, and they were like, "Oh, you're so cheap, you're so cheap." But then on the way out of Six Flags, everybody was hungry. And guess who wasn't hungry? Me.
Yeah, because you just
Eating
had
my
40
10-cent
cheeseburgers.
cheeseburger.
It was like Tuesdays. Like on Tuesdays.
No, this was like there. You know, there's times that they have it every day, but then there's 2 for Tuesdays or $1 Big Mac and things like that.
There was, cause when I worked at McDonald's, this is back in 94, 95. It was like Tuesdays from like 6 to 7 o'clock. It was 15-cent hamburgers and 25-cent cheeseburgers. And everybody had to be, they called in everybody because people would, there'd be a line.
You ready?
And there was never any limit.
Never. You could just say 100 and boom, 100.
You could say 100 and get 100.
Telling you, we got
That's
40.
crazy.
We got
Freaking
40.
great.
I'm not kidding. It was about 40.
It was so great. And the dollar menu, when the dollar menu was there, our band lived on the dollar menu
Were
in
we
2002 and 3.
Were we more patient back then where it was like, it's fine, no.
I think so. Because now we
No
all
limit.
have a phone and we all, like right now, like Moon was like, okay, let me see what's number 2. Boom. Let me see what's this. Let me see what's that. Back then, you had to read. Now you don't read. You just scroll down.
Yeah, but even like there was no limit on. So if they're having a deal like that, it'd be like limit 5.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, it was I could order 400.
We were limitless.
Limitless back then.
Yes.
Limitless. What changed? Why is that a new thing now? Now we
Maybe-
got limits on stuff.
Well, maybe they're run out of supplies.
We never ran out of supplies.
Right?
What do you mean?
Well, think about this too. If they could have a limit on it where it's 5, and then they have the promotion, you're gonna have a ton of people get in there, and then maybe, well, that doesn't work.
Were they
either.
losing too much money? Maybe.
That could be.
I wonder how much it makes. How
don't
much it takes
think
to
so.
make
I mean-
one of those cheeseburgers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they make tons of money on anything else.
It probably costs 15 cents to.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody
Yeah.
just texted in and said that I got the 2 cheeseburger meal yesterday and it was number 5.
Number 5.
Ah.
Down on the lineup.
All right.
And then the next person said it's number 7. Whatever.
It all
dude.
depends. It all depends where you're at.
Participating locations only.
Papa.
This Friday fail
Whatever,
story
number.
comes from Barnegat, New Jersey, where 2 18-year-olds seriously misunderstood the concept of bright ideas. So, according to police, Cal Principato and Lucas Pyle decided it was somehow a good idea to shoot a flare gun into somebody's house last Saturday afternoon. Anybody ever shoot off a flare gun?
That would be fun.
I swear I have, but I think it's only in my dreams. I think it's been one of those things where when you see it, you go, I want to shoot
It's like
one
you
of
do it in
those.
video games enough.
I've shot a flare gun into the air. It's cool.
That would be awesome.
It's pretty neat.
Okay.
Anybody has one right now?
A flare gun, not on me.
Just do it.
But surprise, this ended exactly how you'd expect. The flare set the living room furniture on fire, starting with the curtains. Luckily, the residents jumped into action and managed to put the flames out before they got too out of hand, avoiding a much bigger disaster. Teens were arrested a couple days later, now facing aggravated arson and weapons charges. Both are sitting in the Ocean County Jail, probably with plenty of time to rethink their next brilliant move.
Failed.
2 more for you. This one takes us to Florida, where a 35-year-old South Florida man, Tyrion Alexander, just got busted for one of the boldest travel scams I've seen in a long time. This guy managed to snag himself over 120 free flights by pretending to be a flight attendant.
Okay. This is awesome.
Get out of here. You got to have a
Again.
badge.
This went on for years.
Really?
Yeah.
In the 80s?
No. According to federal prosecutors, he used a special booking system meant only for airline employees. He claimed to be a flight attendant for 7 different airlines, even making up about 30 fake badge numbers and hire dates.
Oh, okay. This is different. I thought you meant he was walking on
Yeah.
as a badged employee and, you know, peanuts, water, you know, like doing the carts.
Why is there 5 of us?
Peanuts.
I don't know.
Bush Stadium.
That would have been cooler, but I mean,
This is still cool.
still
This is like the Catch Me If You Can movie, right?
over 6 years, he hopped on at least 34 of those flights without paying a dime,
Oh,
and impersonated crews on 3 other airlines.
What got him busted?
I don't know, but he's facing up to 30 years in prison.
What?
Dang.
Is it a
Yeah.
federal offense?
Yeah, wire fraud and unlawfully entering secure airport areas under false pretenses. So I'm assuming he also did have a badge.
Okay, that's
Dang.
over the line.
30 years.
Failed.
When you start fooling security, or, you know, you start fooling with security stuff, I understand why that's a crime. That's
It looks like his bag was a little overweight, so they're going to charge him extra, and he was laying on the floor flailing around. And that's how they caught him.
And finally, a 21-year-old guy got arrested in Clearwater, Florida last Sunday after he called 911 and said a stripper wouldn't have sex with him.
Well,
Wait, why are you laughing?
This happens so often.
Was this you, Scott?
And it happened at a place called Oz Gentlemen's Club. This man is originally from Saudi Arabia, which does not have strip clubs, so he probably wasn't familiar with how they do things here. So he told 911 that he requested sex from a staff member, gave them $300, but then they took him to a private room and did not have sex with him. $300 is the price of their 30-minute VIP champagne room experience.
Ooh.
He was still on the phone when cops got there. They said he smelled like booze and was slurring his words. It turned out he just turned 21 last week. They arrested him for misusing 911 and released him the same day on a $500 bond. But
That's embarrassing.
Failed.
didn't Chris Rock tell us all?
There's no sex in the champagne room.
No sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room. No sex in the champagne room.
We all know.
Have you been? I have not been in the champagne. What is the champagne room?
It's the private room.
nice try.
Like the back? Like for the lap dance?
I like
or
how he's
whatever?
pretending.
Playing real dumb over here. Is it in a building?
How you
or-
say champagne?
No.
The champagne room?
How do you say it? Champagne?
Or champagne. No. What
Nice
is the-
try,
what is
Polo.
the champagne
Yeah,
room?
okay.
Scott, explain
like-
what the champagne room is.
All right, it's a room full of champagne, and you get to sit in there for 30 minutes.
And drink
then,
all you want, right?
Yeah.
There's
And then
actually
a
no
lady
booze.
might come in there, but probably not.
It's just champagne colored, really. It's,
I mean, I think.
No, as
We
a
ha-
former dancer, it's where you get a lap dance, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah, they take you back
We
for a
all
lap
have had a lap dance, right, Scott?
Well,
Correct.
No.
Correct.
Is that the champagne room?
Well,
Because-
sometimes they'll do it at table side next to the stage, or they'll take you back to a room.
I've never been
And-
in a room.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm with you. I've never seen.
I've been
rooms.
behind the curtain.
Scott,
Yeah, that's it.
Riz and I, we were doing a promotional thing for a place that was grand opening, but they were basically just switching names, and so we went out there during the day. Right, it was during the day that first time.
Yeah.
Well, they were
I
touring.
thought we were there at night because
Was
remember
it
they
night?
yelled at us for being out in the parking lot at
I remember that
after
time.
hours. They're like, well, "Are you crazy? You're
Was
gonna
it
get
across
killed
the
out
river?
here."
Was that
was
the
that
same?
the
was,
bunch of hunk strip club?
It was Roxy's, one of those Brooklyn. It was one of those Brooklyn, Illinois places.
Was that the same time though? Because
Maybe.
there was another time where they were touring us around it, and they were showing us all the improvements, and no one was in there, but they were like taking us to these. There are a lot of back rooms, and
Yeah.
one of them had a friggin' bed, and the other had a hot tub.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's like, "You guys want to get in the hot tub?" And both of us were like, "What?
I don't wanna touch
even wanna
anything
be
in
in
this.
here."
Basically like a private party is what it's saying on here. Like you're having a birthday party in the play place. It's the champagne room. It's got private drinks. You get your own dancers, and you get your own group. So if the
I see.
if
A
the RizzShow
champagne-
wanted to rent the champagne room just for us,
A champagne room could be different things. It's different
is.
things at different places.
well,
But there's one rule: There's no sex in the champagne room.
It says a private, semi-private room where patrons can purchase drinks and potentially engage in more intimate interactions.
Right.
With their
Well, I mean, they make it sound fancy where you're in
Champagne. It's French.
You're in a booth and a chick is grinding on your lap. It's a way to make it sound fancy. Oh, the champagne room.
Well, if you go to
must be classy.
If you go to Venice across the river, it's just the Busch Light room. It's
the Busch
There's no sex in the Busch Light room.
No sex in.
No sex in the champagne room.
you know what? What are you guys doing later tonight?
No sex in the champagne room.
Let's investigate.
Nah, man.
Come on.
You report back. I have no
Investigative.
interest.
No, we're
Journalism.
we're just doing homework.
Listen, I'm glad you're here, Polo,
Me too.
because
It's been a while.
Well, you're.
I love your hair, by the way.
Thanks, buddy.
Got a little like, is it a mullet or is it
It's
just
a, it's
the
a
whole
mullet.
thing? Yeah,
It's a mullet. It's Friday the 13th,
it is. Ooh, spooky.
and it's been very unlucky for the Cardinals these past 5 days.
yes. You know what?
Speed bump.
I've been here for 20 minutes or so, and I'm like, good. Let's not talk about the Cardinals, but somebody has to ruin my morning.
After last weekend with all that great stuff that happened with the Dodgers,
yeah.
and then
They had a great homestand. I mean, yes, 3 and 6,
homestand.
3 and 6. But when you look up and down that lineup, last homestand was one of the most successful when it comes down to hitting.
Yeah.
And the games against the Blue Jays, you lost the first 2 by a run each. Right, you had a chance to maybe even get that series, but it didn't happen. You know, baseball's fickle.
I know
it's interesting.
I know. Well, listen, you've been. How long have you been broadcasting for the Cardinals?
Oh, dang it. It's been a while
2016?
now. I mean, yeah, that's when we started with 2 games in 2016, so they count it as a season. I'm like, yeah, it's 2 games, okay, the season. But it's 10 seasons now. Parts of, the way I say is parts of 10 seasons.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. So if you look up Polo on the internet, which I did, I looked up Polo Asensio. I said, give me some fun facts about Polo Asensio.
Okay.
So all this stuff is completely true. What I'm about to read to you, real facts about our buddy Polo Asensio.
Let's go.
Fact number 1. And again, this is what the interwebs.
No AI like the vows from yesterday.
This is
and things like that.
just
It's real.
what's spit out about Polo. Polo, St. Louis Cardinals announcer, been the Spanish play-by-play announcer for the St. Louis Cardinals since 2016 alongside Benji Molina.
Yes, sir.
100% true.
That's true.
Born in Tijuana, Mexico,
Yeah.
but is of Puerto Rican descent. Okay, that is false.
Yes, it is.
Thank God.
It says you are very proud of your Hispanic heritage.
Yes, I am. Sí, señor.
Polo is credited with inventing the home run sombrero celebration, where he dons a giant hat every time a Cardinal hits a homer.
No, it's a small hat because the booth is not that big.
Let me see here. You published a best-selling cookbook called Bases Loaded, Home Plate Recipes from the Booth.
That is absolutely not.
No,
correct.
also not true. Okay.
But hey, that's a good idea.
Yes.
Polo was the first to call Cardinals games full-time in Spanish, helping the team reach a broader audience.
You can say that's half true because it's not full time because we only do home games.
Okay, but according
it's
to the internet,
getting
it's
there.
full-time.
All right.
Before becoming an announcer, Polo toured Mexico as the lead singer of a mariachi band.
I didn't know this.
I was playing the trombone and the cello.
Polo holds the record for fastest hot dog eaten at Busch Stadium.
No, I actually came second.
Polo once ate 8 hot dogs in 2 minutes during a charity event at Busch Stadium.
No, that's not true.
Also not true. Okay.
Dang
Man,
it.
this internet is crazy.
Yeah.
How many dogs did it say?
8 in
Could
2
you do-
minutes.
Could you do
10.
more or
No,
not
in
that
2
many?
minutes? No, I don't think so. No.
Voice of a video game character, provided the voice for a baseball coach in a popular sports video game.
That is correct. That is true.
Okay, that's a true one. What's
No,
the game?
it's not.
Oh, come on.
Fail. I want to do that,
Well,
though.
this whole thing
I want to
is-
put my voice into a character, a cartoon, or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
This whole thing is garbage.
it's the
The internet knows
You know,
nothing
it's
about
crazy.
you.
I found something on the internet myself over here. It's in Spanish. It says, a Polo le encanta el sexo en la sala de champaña.
No way.
Is that true?
no, it's not because it's La Sala de Tequila.
The tequila room.
And then all you hear is arriba, arriba. They do call me Speedy Gonzalez.
All right, listen, our buddy Polo Centio's here. We got to take a break. We'll come back. And Rafe has this week's E Memoriam.
I love that. My favorite.
We got to say goodbye to some people.
We do.
Some tough goodbyes.
Toughies.